her heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah, every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me in a way I never understood. In every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get you. Yeah, it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me, yeah. In a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get you. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee. Welcome back to another live stream, you guys. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope y'all are having a great day. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Also, quickly put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me good. 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me good. 1 in the chat if y'all could hear me loud and clear. Make sure you guys put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me loud and clear. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching, everybody who supports the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Listen, before we get into this discussion, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button as you come into the building. All right, that definitely helps your girl out. Happy Friday, y'all. So listen, let me see who in here so far. Shout out to everybody. Alex in the building. I'm Alex. What? Alex in the building. Shout out to you, Alex. What's going on? Stillmatic. G_Honda. What's going on? How are you? Cases and Cams 86. What's going on? Lorenzo Redmond in the building. Box Benji. I think I'm saying that right. 2164. How are you? Unstoppable 318. The E-Man Williams, what's going on? How are you? Shout out to everybody watching, everybody in the building. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. Make sure you are supporting the channel by hitting the like button. Also, if you want to support and have your comments read, make sure you super chat that thing. That definitely helps the channel to grow, you guys. Yeah, so make sure you're doing that. So y'all see the title. So Cheyenne Bryant, y'all, she's all over social media, y'all. I talked about her already. I just wanted to bring it back because I saw this recent interview that everybody is talking about. And I want to give my 2 cents on it, and I want to get your thoughts on it as well. And then we're going to move on to another topic that I want to discuss as well. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. But I hope y'all are doing well. I appreciate y'all for being here. Definitely chime in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. So Cheyenne Bryant, y'all, she's still trying to pop around this whole license and credential thing. To this, it's really, it's really sad in a sense. There's so many conflicting thoughts on this whole situation. So many people who have a difference of opinion. Some people are like, well, what's the big deal? Other groups of people have people who, scam them and make it to the top, and somehow you're supposed to be okay with that. Like, if it's within your community and it's a person that looks like you, then it should be okay to just let them lie to you and scam you within your own group. And somehow that's all of y'all winning. I've heard so many different responses to this, and some of them are just ridiculous. And that's one of them, in my opinion. The fact that people are literally saying, some people, because a lot of people are really like just against this. A lot of people are really coming after her and saying this is crazy. But there are some who are still saying, look, as a Black community, this is why we don't get ahead, is because we don't allow the people to lie and scam against us. That we should just let it happen, because if she makes it big, I guess, as a scammer, allegedly, then all of us somehow supposed to follow and grow. I mean, that was some of the most stupidest stuff that I've heard thus far. But this is what people are saying about this whole situation. And I just think it's insane. And some people don't realize how this is not a win for everybody, in my opinion. I don't feel like somebody lying about their credentials and giving services to people, but not fully having the licenses or the credentials to do that work. That's not helping us. That will put us more at a disservice than helping us, because if she gets, because they always get busted. So eventually, if you get busted, or when you get busted for lying, how is that helping us? It just makes our community look worse, because once people they always talk about everybody else, the whites and everybody else. When they find that out, when they get to them, then it just goes to show, oh, this is what they do again. This is what they do. They lie. They steal. They're aggressive. They're manipulative. That's not a good look for us in our community. It just makes us look worse, and it makes people not want to trust us or have any faith in us. But it's more for them to condemn, to say, see, this is the problem with the Black community. So I don't see how that's helping us. But anyway, baby, that's some of the comments that I've been seeing, and what people have been saying, and it's just insane to me. But I want to get into this interview that recently occurred and why people are condemning this and talking about it. What's going on, Successful MD? Thank you so much for the super chat, and thank you for being here. Says, I'm not surprised in the world full of grifters. Right. It doesn't make sense. But thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you for being here. Shout out to you. Yeah, it's just crazy. But let's go ahead and get into this interview, because I want to, the interviewer, she low key was like, this is what had people kind of laughing, because she wasn't really for it, but she was doing her job. But this was interesting. But I want to get into it. Make sure you let me know what you think in the comments. Y'all leave your comments in the chat. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Congratulations on your latest.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
So
Have
much.
a
Thank
seat.
you.
Thanks for coming live in studio.
I'm going to add this to your book.
Oh, please do. Please do. And
honey.
I've read your book.
Yes.
Is it? How many have you
This
put
is
out
my
now?
second
The
book. My
book.
first one, Mental Detox, is also a bestseller.
Wow. So for many, they know who you are.
Yes.
For others, this may be an introduction.
Yeah.
So you often talk about, and you talk about it in your book, going from the hood to the hills.
Yes, baby.
How has your life informed your journey and what you share?
Oh, gosh. I talk about it in my book, Live Your Promise, how, growing up in the inner city as a young girl, the oldest of 7, the product of teenage parents, had an extremely, extremely loving, tight-knit family, but the environment sometimes was dysfunctional and toxic. And so growing up in that, knowing that, look, I don't know where I want to go, but I know I got to get the heck up out of here. I always say sometimes it's not where you're going that gets you there, it's what you're running from. And as a young girl, I put on my track shoes and I said, look, I have a goal to get me and my family out of this, but to come back and give back and provide resources to the inner city. And so I say, I went from the hood to the hills by the grace of God. And as the Bible says, it was good for me that I was afflicted. So my afflictions created a certain muscle, a vertical backbone, and a character in me that allows me to withstand the storm. And the wilderness is what I talk about in my book. And we all have a wilderness that happens every time before you enter into your promised land. It precedes.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but let me know in the chat. Listen, I think two things could be true at the same time. I think people, how they say a broken clock is right two times a day or something like that. So, I mean, listen, once you lose all credibility, what you say is like, wah, wah, wah. Like, even if it's even, to me, that's just me, y'all. I ain't gonna put that on y'all, I'm put that on me. When you lose credibility, it's like I can't hear, I go deaf. I can't hear nothing you saying at this point, even if some of it makes sense. Cause it's like, if you done lied or you done messed up your credibility, I can't listen to you now. I can't hear what you got to say. I can't hear nothing. It's like I'm deaf. Okay. So that's how it is now. So there may be some truth to what she's saying, but once you've lied and once your lies are come out, it's like, girl, I don't want to hear nothing you saying now, because it's just a bunch of word salad. That's what, a lot of word salad. She talked about a lot of things, but that degree and them licenses and the license she all of a sudden don't have. And I don't know. It's just when you lose your credibility, it's like, I can't listen to you. I'm just saying. But let's continue.
The promised land, which is you living in your promise.
Yeah, you share those biblical scriptures and stories as well, words of affirmation, even pages where you basically urge the reader to ask those questions.
Yes.
Because a lot of us, we see the wilderness, but we're too afraid to take the mask off, to turn the lights on and address it.
Marissa, come on. A lot of times, what we're afraid of is two things. It's taking inventory of what is in our wilderness, because a lot of folks have used a coping mechanism to eclipse themselves from seeing the trauma, from taking the inventory, because seeing the trauma oftentimes makes it to where you have to relive it. It's a secondary trauma experience. And who wants to relive trauma? Trauma is dismantling. It's broken. It's painful. And so that inventory piece you said is important. And the second piece is they're usually afraid of the bigness, what's in the promised land. Can they not only obtain, but can they sustain it when they get there? And it takes a different tool in the promised land than it does in the wilderness. And it's okay to be in the wilderness, because the wilderness is where you are identifying who you are. You're finding out your muscle. You are building character. And that is what you need to be able to even enter into your promised land. The promised land takes a you that is vertical. It takes a you that can thrive. The wilderness is where you survive. You cannot take your tool of survival into your promised land, where you are there to actually thrive.
Once you've identified that this for me is my wilderness and you see the thing as a thing, what are some practical steps that you can do to begin the healing process?
I love that. I always say, you have to feel, deal before you can heal. It means you have.
Well, what my thing is this, and we've all gone through things, right? In life, you go through stuff. What has she gone through? I'm trying to figure out where shot did she get from the wilderness to the promised land? Girl, I need to know how you started. Is that in the book? But I don't care, because I won't read. I'm not buying that goddamn book. So I don't know. You got to tell me that. So where did you start in the wilderness? What was your wilderness moment? Because that's what I need to know. And then what's your promised land moment? What's your promised is? Are you in the promised land now that you write books and you're a doctor and all that? And where your wilderness was when you grew up in the hood to the give examples of all of that. What did you actually go through? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Cause I mean, hell, if that's the case, hell, I could tell my wilderness to promised land story too. And I could call myself a doctor if that's the case, and a therapist. Cause I could give you some therapy on where I came from the wilderness to the promised land. I can give you real life examples. What are real life examples? What did you go through? I could talk about it from childhood, from teenage to young adult, being married young, going through the process of understanding, my husband, and understanding myself, and learning, all within a lifespan of growing from a young adult, from a child to a young adult to from a teenager to a young adult to a young married woman with children, and the ebbs and flows of that, and how we been together for so long. I can tell you all that. Hell, I need to have my wilderness to the promised land book too. And I can give you real examples and real life experiences. What is her wilderness to promised land story that she, what happened? I would like to know that. Jamil 843, thank you for the super chat, Jamil. Says grifters run to the Bible when they get caught up. Exactly. That's what we see it all the time. And they evade the questions. You notice when you ask her a question, she go to roundabout to the word salad, saying all kind of other stuff about all this other shit. And nobody really want to be hearing that. We just want you to answer the question, girl. Stop going around in circles all around the world and and not really answer the question. Like, that's how, and then bringing God, and the Lord is my Savior and Jesus Christ and all that. You know, I've seen people do that, which is funny as shit. You know, they start quoting Bible scriptures all wrong and saying prayers and stuff and hymns and whatever they can grasp because they don't want, because they know you're busting them. The Lord, oh my God, they said the devil gonna come get me and there's snakes all around me. I've heard that. Oh, everybody a snake when they realize you a liar. When they realize you lying, now, oh my God, the Lord said I will be tempted and I will be judged. Like what? Well, all of a sudden, now that you busted in a lie, now all these scriptures come out. It's just so stupid. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, it just don't make no sense, child. And I think people would, I'm not even being disrespectful or anything to her. I'm just saying, but with all due respect, I think people like this think folks are stupid because you've been able to take advantage of people and you think people are dumb. Oh, they won't know. They're not going to ever find out. They're not going to search. They don't research shit. The very people that you're getting money from and using are the ones you think are so dumb because they're allowing you to grift them. They really be thinking you stupid. Because why? Because I would be afraid to put some fake stuff out there and say I'm a doctor and I know I'm not. And I don't have and fake stuff and all this. We got to give a shout out to Corey Holcomb because he called it out. Corey Holcomb is on record saying that this woman is not a doctor and she has no credentials. He's been saying it. I heard him say it very clearly. And so now everybody's seeing it and now people are realizing it. And some people been knew it, but it wasn't, now everybody is seeing it. It's like, child, word salad, talking a bunch of nonsense, and people, that sounds good to people who don't have no real good understanding. To people who don't fully understand what's going on, that sounds good to them. They just eat that up. Oh yeah, that's our black doctor. Oh yeah, let's go buy her stuff. Like, come on. And even when they find out the truth, the real people who are invested, they don't want to accept it. But let's continue. Let's get to it.
You have to really let yourself feel what you are feeling. Honor your emotions. Honoring our emotions is an act of self-love, okay? And allowing yourself to feel what you feel. You also have to remember that,
let me read this. It says, healing requires truth. That's true. Success doesn't erase trauma. That's true. Success often amplifies unresolved wounds. That's true. Must transform behaviors, emotions, and actions. All true. I could have told you that. I don't need a doctorate or lie about a doctorate to tell you that. That's called life experiences. You go through life and you experience that to understand that. If you're really, accepting it for what it is, and if you're not in denial, the stuff she's saying, hell, I could have word salad my way up and hell and been all on them shows too. But I actually have experience too, though. I could have, anybody could have word salad their way up and got what she's at. But eventually, people gonna find out. The truth shall come. How they say? The truth shall come to the light. The darkness will come to the light. The truth shall set you free or expose you. Just saying. Child, let's continue.
Success does not erase your trauma. It doesn't erase your trauma. And so a lot of folks get into the position of success with accolades and they're performing well, but that is an overcompensation for the healing that they need to do. We want to be equally yoked. We want to be successful in our performance, but we really want to be very healed, happy, and at peace within our relational space within ourselves, because no relationship will be as healthy as the one you have with yourself, and every relationship outside of you will reflect the one you have with you. So it's important to start with you.
That was a segue into my next question. There was one chapter in particular where you talked about the fairy tale ideology that we attach to romantic relationships.
You're cooking, girl. You're cooking. You're cooking.
And you give a lot of dating, relationship advice and words online, podcasts and whatnot. Why do you think it's so hard for us to break through that ideology when we're looking to attract or pursue love?
Yeah, because the fairy tale ideology comes from two places, either from what you've seen in the household, and you've seen your parents be married and you've seen the success piece of it, but they maybe hid the arguing or hid the reality of the work that it takes to be married. Or you've seen the opposite. You said, I don't want this. So because I don't want what I've seen in my household, I'm going to create a fairy tale that I do want. It's an ideology. And you go out into the world and you clothe people with your fairy tale ideology. And when they do not meet up to those expectations, you gaslight them and say, you're not good enough. You know, I'm just too much for you. You can't handle me. No, maybe they're human. Maybe your ideology is a fairy tale. Maybe we have to check what we are thinking we want, right? And say, is it reality? Does this even exist? Because that's different than just having standards. And so a lot of times people are breaking their own heart with their fairy tale ideology. It's not the person you're in a relationship with. They're being human. They have the right to be who they are. We have one choice or one free will in life is to choose a person, not to change them.
What do you say to people who say that sound advice that you're giving, but you've never been married? You know, you don't have any children. How can you give relationship advice, family advice, whatnot? What's your response?
This is my favorite question, by the way, my absolutely favorite question. I say this, I don't teach people how to be married. That is a covenant and agreement that you two make together. Only you know how to marry and have your covenant with God. I teach people how to get out of their own way. I teach you how to get past your trauma, past your parental issues, so you don't come and bleed onto that relationship. See, look, happy, healthy people make happy, healthy relationships, and traumatized out people create trauma bonds. And so the goal for me is to say, if I can get you all to be in alignment with yourself, your three-part house is what I talk about in the book, how you think, how you feel, and how you behave. If that can align, then guess what? Y'all can align. But if you can't align with yourself, what makes you think you can align or even be at peace with somebody else?
Now, that sounds good, right? That sounds good. And there may be some truth to it. I will say that. But that's not, look, that's not the only things that are, see, this is my thing, y'all. Listen, I had to like backtrack just a little bit because I often say, listen, if you experience is the best teacher, and I still stand by that. I stand by that wholeheartedly. But there are people who have common sense, which I'll play somebody that I think has a lot of sense, common sense on, in a minute. I think that people who have common sense, who are logical, who understands right from wrong, who has certain standards and certain values that they align with, and they don't allow anybody to cross those boundaries. And you understand men, and you understand women, and you understand what's necessary for a relationship to thrive to a degree. I think there are people out there who can give that advice because you have just an understanding of what it is. I still stand by, you can't fully, in my opinion, give all of the advice necessary for a relationship or a marriage to thrive for 20, 30, 40 years to the end, unless you've had that experience. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I will stand by that because there are certain things that are ways I thought earlier, before I got married and earlier in my marriage, there were certain things, ways that I thought based off of how I was raised. And I thought a certain way, still understood right from wrong, still understood certain aspects of people and things. But until you face certain things in your relationship, you can't possibly, or you couldn't possibly fathom the outcome of that and how your mind is going to shift, how that person's thinking is going to shift, how y'all going to deal with certain things until you actually go through them. You can't fathom how things are going to play out until you actually go through them. And that's something that I learned. You could have it in your mind of what you want and have standards as you should. And you could like, look, oh, I want this. I want X, Y, Z. I want to have a kid by this age. We want to have a house by this. We want to have, you have it all laid out and you have it mapped out. And some of those things go according to plan, but some don't. There are people who are married who plan their lives out, got the degrees, got the jobs, got the house, and then they wanted a family like, oh, by this age, we want to have this many children. And then they go to start the family, and then there's some issues. Either she has fertility issues or it's him. Now, that's something you couldn't foresee. That was unforeseen. There are things that you cannot predict and you cannot foresee, which means that causes a shift in your relationship, because you can't see things that will occur to know how it's going to play out. And you could have all the best intentions in the world. You know what I mean? You could be a good person. That means you're a good person to your spouse, but you can't possibly know before you go. That's what my husband always says. You can't know before you go. So when you go through it, you come across obstacles that were unforeseen. You don't know, and you don't know how that's going to make you feel. You don't know how it's going to have what toll it's going to take on your relationship, how things change, how people start acting. You don't know. So the basis, or the basis for a strong foundation for a relationship or marriage, there are certain things that will help you stand the test of time. But that's why I think those core values, and I think the core values, which helps a relationship to thrive, I think anybody could teach that or understand that and push that, because I think that's important. But the obstacles and the things that you face in relationships and marriage, you cannot predict that, and you cannot say how that's going to go for you until you go through it. You just don't know. There are a lot of trials and things that people go through in marriages that are unforeseen. It's not something you planned. It's not something you saw coming. But you got to have that strong love for one another, and you have to be in that relationship for the right reasons in order for you to be able to get over those things. And that's the stuff people don't talk about. See, I could give you the external stuff. I could give you the surface level stuff of stuff that just makes logical sense, especially if you understand men, and if you understand a man, and a man understands you, and y'all understand the nature of each other, and you love each other. Yeah, you could work through some things. But So I mean, the basic things, the basic knowledge of what you should be doing as a wife and as a husband, I think people can give that information. But you cannot sit here and, for anybody that's, like unmarried, and especially people who are trying to give marriage advice for long term, that you can give advice, but there are certain things you cannot teach. That's just my thoughts on it. That's just my thoughts. There's certain things you cannot teach. There's certain things because even that's why marriage is hard for a lot of people, because there are things that you don't see. Things you could be Christian, loving each other, loving God, going by the book, but there are still things that will test your marriage. And anybody outside of that can't say or really tell you how to deal with that, because you don't even know how to deal with it. It's not something that you expected or saw coming. So I just think, to some degree, I think, yes, you don't have to be married to understand the principles of marriage and what it takes to have a marriage, but to actually keep it and stay consistent, because things change, people change, circumstances change. How do you deal with that? We're not therapists. Nobody prepared us for this. We don't really know how to deal with everything. We're human beings. We know we love each other, and we know we here to the end. And to me, that's important. That's why it says, for better or worse, sickness and in health, till death do us part, rich or for poor, because there are going to be some times where you don't have no money. There are going to be some times when you have money. There are going to be some times when somebody gets sick. They can't fulfill your desires in a way that you're accustomed to because they're sick. There's going to have to be a level of understanding and a level of compromise. There's going to have to be a level of understanding to know and respect what your partner is going through. And this could be the woman or a man. If you're a man, you lose your job. You have no income coming in. You've been a provider the whole time. You feeling funny about it because you're used to being a provider. It's going to upset you because you're used to being a provider. But if you can't do that and your woman has to pick up the slack, if you got a good woman who probably would pick up the slack, you're still not going to feel good about not being able to provide for your family. But it's out of your control. There's nothing you can do if you're out of commission, if you're in an accident or you can't do it. That's going to mess with you mentally. But you got to have a woman there that's understanding and support you and be there, right? But it's going to take a toll on you too. You think you're going to be the best, most loving, upbeat man when you're going through something like that? No, you may be in a downward spiral. You might be depressed. You might be just not the nicest. And it's understandable because you're going through something. But these are the unforeseen things that people don't realize, and you can't possibly understand the toll that something like that will take on you until you go through it. And this is why I say there are certain things that you cannot predict. You cannot possibly understand how to deal with that until you go through it, because you don't know your state of mind or your wife's state of mind. And then if y'all have children, you don't understand all that until you go through it. Because you could think, oh, well, you know, I go through something like that, I'll just be fine. I'll just pick myself up by my bootstraps. I'm gonna be just, it's a mental stressful toll, and you just don't know how you're gonna handle that. So it's a lot. So I think while I do believe that you can give sound advice to couples of how to treat each other, how to understand all of that, but for marriage, when you've been in that thing for a long time, there are things that you can't know the outcome of what's going to happen in your frame of mind and her frame of mind, and until you go through it. So that's why I say that, to say that. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Doesn't work like that.
Can you begin to learn more about yourself, though, in the process of forming that relationship? You don't have to stay single to get that.
Listen, girl, you cooking, girl. I love this. Because I always say there's a lot that you can get from books, a lot you can get from principle, from tools, but there's a whole lot you got to just learn on the job. There's a lot of things that you just have to learn by experiencing it and being. This is why the wilderness is so important, because the wilderness is giving you experience. You're learning on the job. Relationships, marriages also have a wilderness season. It's not kumbaya the entire relationship. No. So when you all are in the wilderness, that means you're learning yourself, you're learning the relationship, and you're learning how to love on each other. The Bible says love each other by knowledge. The knowledge piece is your recipe. It's not about giving them what you want them to have. It's let me give you what serves you. I'll land on this. Marriage is a service position. Can you serve? Can you serve the person or not serve yourself? That's what it's about.
Yeah. I have to ask you this. I have a segment here called Motivation with Marissa, and I know you're a motivator for many people, and oftentimes when you have that role, that moniker, you're the strong friend.
Yeah.
So I got to check in on strong friends. I want to check in with you because you've gone viral recently. People questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking that. I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time for my book that just, launched a couple days ago. And within 24 hours, we made the bestsellers list, not only for print, but for the ebook. And so that's very exciting. Also, I know a couple of things. There's promises that God has for us. He says that all, not some, all things are working for your good. He also says that not to get weary in well-doing. And he says that I give you much territory, and your job is to possess it, and my job as God is to protect it. I protect what I give you. And so when territory is expanded, God says that the cross gets heavier. And if you cannot carry a heavy cross for the expansion of the territory I gave you, then guess what? Maybe you're not ready, because to whom much is given, much is required. And so it's important for people who are in service, in leadership positions, to not personalize, right? When you have folks who come in and attempt to crucify what you have going on, because your job is to not get weary in your service. And I'll land on this. My obedience is to God, not to people.
Gotcha. Jamil 843, thank you for the super chat. Says Dee, you blunt, girly, and Crim Secure have been on fire this year. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat once again, Jamil. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Jamil also says Corey lost the battle, won the war. Thank you, Jamil. I appreciate you once again. Thank you once again for supporting the channel. Successful MD says you must be honest with yourself first. Numero uno. Exactly. That's the only. This is why I speak on being delusional. You can't be delusional about things because it skews your the way you see things and the way you think, and that's not good if you're actually trying to get help and better yourself. So yeah, absolutely. Successful MD. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Dane C says she looks more like a pastor's wife. Salute D. True. That's true. But there are rumors out there that saying that the woman is, she's shooting for the same team. That's Corey Holcomb said that. Tasha K said that this woman doesn't want a man allegedly. She likes women. That's what they're saying allegedly. But I don't know. That's what I heard. Thank you, Dane C 2572. I appreciate you. The J Wit podcast. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says thank you for this live. Not sure how CB has gotten away with giving this advice. Sans her own marriage family Also, I noticed she started adding Bible the more she was pressed. Context matters. Exactly. Thank you, the J Wit podcast. I appreciate you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Let's continue.
And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his, his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing, that is not my battle.
Well,
That's
with the
his.
questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live, for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was.
Okay, so she said all of her sessions have been live. What does that mean? This is a question a lot of people ask. So your live sessions, therapy, is that sessions? What type? I mean, she said they've all been live. What kind of sessions are these? I've never heard of it. Y'all, listen, if y'all know, let me know. What does she mean? So those are her sessions? That's her history? Is that the sessions? She said all of her sessions have been live. What do you mean live? She's been saying she's a therapist for the longest, and now she finally came out and said she does no longer have a therapist license, and all of this. And now there's no credentials to show what you really have. And now she's like, F it, I don't owe y'all a goddamn thing. And that's your sessions that's been live. That's the sessions that once again, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Night Call 411. Thank you for the super chat. Says, if the generalized perception is that women are emotional and delusional is nothing but emotions out of control, why are we so surprised that women are so delusional today? I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I'm not surprised, Night Call. But a lot of people are, because you would think that, as an adult and as an educated woman, as most women like to tout, I'm educated, I got 3 degrees and all of this. You would think that would be common sense, that you would not want to act in a delusional manner, that you would want to try to get to the truth, that the truth hurts, and trauma is not a fun thing. You would think that people have enough sense to say, hey, I need to stop lying and being delusional because it's not helping me. It's not benefiting me. You would think people would have the basic knowledge to understand that, but a lot of people don't, because they're following society. They're following who's popular on social media. They're following this lady, Cheyenne Bryant. They're following people who looks good to them, who sound good to them, but you're not really getting to the nitty gritty, the root of what's causing your issues. And there's a lot of times it's you. You have to turn the mirror on you. A lot of the issues that people are facing is not because everybody else. It's not men. It's not the devil. It's not all these other things. It's you. And people hate to acknowledge that they're the problem. So they don't want to, it's easier to be delusional. It's easier to push it onto somebody else. It's easier to tell everybody else that they're the problem and not you. But at the end of the day, if you really want to gain some type of progress, it all has to come back to you. You have to deal with the issues, the tough things. You don't run from them. You run towards them. Because the quicker you run towards them, the quicker you can face them, fix them, and get past it. And a lot of people don't like to do that. I hope I didn't just ramble. Thank you, Night Call. I appreciate you for the super chat. Successful MD says her answer about the degree was on rollerblades. Right. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And I want to play a video next, y'all, to which, goes more to against her than help her, when she's talking about she couldn't find her, couldn't get her the last 2 years of her transcripts, child. I got something for that. But let's continue. Thank you, Successful MD. Make sure you guys continue with hitting the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Let's continue.
Prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live, and they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself, they deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay.
I
And
see
you got to
that
be
you
okay
view
with
it,
that
yeah,
in that
as an
space.
attack,
Yeah.
but I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers,
Yeah.
and I owe it to them
You
in
do.
service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you
Well,
cannot bring forth
yeah.
that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah,
right.
because I earned it. Absolutely.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
No,
thank you. I know
thank
you're
you.
going to hang around and
I
want to
thank you for asking the hard questions.
Well, I had
appreciate
to. You know,
that.
I'm a journalist with 2 degrees at the end of the
How
day,
many?
and so I had
How
2.
many? Come on, girl.
Yes, Northwestern and Emory
Come on, girl.
University. So I
There
had to
you
make
go.
sure I display that as
Yeah.
well as a journalist. So
I
thank you for
appreciate it.
coming
Of
and for
course.
hanging around. We're going to
Yeah.
have some fun in
Of
just a little
course.
bit.
Listen, that was funny to me. She like, look, I have 2 degrees. She named the schools where they're from so you can easily go and check it. Baby, that was some shade right there. Little subtle shade. She been subtly shading her the whole interview because she listed where they're from so you can go look that up. Because she basically saying, hey, I have 2 degrees. There's nothing wrong with me disclosing that because I'm happy about that. This is where they come from. Boom. Most people who have these things, they want to tell it. They're not trying to hide it or withhold it. The only time you're withholding is because you don't have it. That's just what it is. And I just think, once again, I think she owe it to the people that she's, counseling or whatever she's been doing. Because people want to know. And I just think that it's unfortunate that we have these types of situations. And there are people who are asking, okay, so what's next from here? I don't know what's next. It probably, she may be able to continue to do what she's doing, continue to grift, because a lot of people don't care until it's a situation that affects them directly, until they're dealing with somebody who's a fake doctor or does something to them that harms them, and then the outrage begins. But the outrage is not here. There are literal people out here saying, come on, she's one of us. Let's not put her down. Let's keep supporting her in her lying and scamming. Like, you gotta be insane. Y'all to think that this is acceptable behavior. And it does not benefit you. If anything, it takes away from you, because these are people who are grifting off of you. You think she's going into the white communities and asking them for money to support her? No, she's looking for her fellow black people to support her. And y'all are just aimlessly supporting, and you don't really, and then this woman is lying to you, allegedly. So, I mean, it would make sense for her to just show her degrees to say, you know what, here, I'm legit, y'all. Y'all don't have to worry about it. I'm good. And all of this would go away. But then you want people to continuously support you when you are, and then on top of that, she went on a Breakfast Club and said she don't give a F. She went into, I don't know, this a Christian lady. You use the Christian talk on one hand, and on the other hand, you don't give a F about what anybody got to say. So how you expect the people to want to, I like books. I buy books all the time. I like to read. If you got something interesting, yeah, I love buying books. So, I mean, I could have been a person to be like, you know what, let me hear what she got to say. Let me go get her book and let me understand her more. But when you say you don't give a F, then you're alienating a new group of people that could possibly support you. You're not supposed to alienate people from supporting you. That's alienate folks. If you're saying your core base is the only people that you're catering to, that's not a good business strategy, in my opinion. That's not a good business strategy. You're supposed to maintain your core, but you still want to be able to reach other people as well. You don't want to lose your core, because that's your core and they're there for you no matter what. But if you want to grow, you still have to think about expanding and reaching new groups of people. So to say you don't give a F about everybody else's opinion and what they got to say, damn, you just stopped me. You stopped the purchase. Because I like to read. I would get a book. I don't care. And let's see what you're saying. Because instead of just assuming things, I would read the book. But when I heard that, I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not supporting. No, you don't give a, okay, I don't give a F either. So so you lose people like that. You don't want to lose people. You want to bring more people in. You want to add to your base. If you're in business, people would understand that. But I'm just saying, like, so no, and your credibility is shot amongst new people. See, your base might stay around because they just gonna believe in you no matter what. But anybody else getting new people is a wrap, because this is the information that the new people are getting, and that's not something people want to subscribe to. Dane C 2572. Thank you for the super chat, Dane C. Once again, I see why the reporter went off on her. She's calling her interviews the same interview multiple people has gotten therapy sessions. Exactly. She said that's the thing. I thought therapy sessions supposed to be private. I thought that's not supposed to be exposed to the public, right? Isn't there a confidentiality clause in sessions with people, right? But if you have a license and all of that, and you're degrees, you know that you can't expose people's personal business to the public. That's supposed to be confidential, if I'm not mistaken. But if she's teeter-totting over coaching sessions, even if I'm in a coaching session with you, I don't want it public, because I might tell you some private personal information that I want everybody else to know. So that's just weird to me. Once again, y'all. Oh, that's all I'm saying. Dane C, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. We got 97 people watching and 69 likes. Go ahead and hit the like button, y'all. She's a public fool. I mean, that's what it seems like. Come on now. That's your live sessions. Did these people agree to that? Did they sign paperwork to say, hey, I want my session this is a session, Dr. Bryant, and I want it live for everybody to see. You were being interviewed on their platforms. How is that a session? That's weird to me. Please. That's weird, child. Anyway, I want to pull up another video that caught my attention. It's by Dr. Dennis Winkler. He posted something on his channel, and I'll put the link. The link is in the description if y'all want to go watch the full video, because I didn't get the full video. I just got the pertinent parts of him. Now, this is somebody who actually went to the same school that Cheyenne Bryant said she went to, Argosy. I think that's how you pronounce it. Argosy. I hope I'm saying it right. Well, he attended the same school that she said she got her degrees from. And this is the same school that she's saying she was not able to obtain her transcripts. I want to play this. This is from somebody who actually went to the school, was able to get his transcripts within minutes. And she's saying the last 2 years of her transcripts that would prove her degrees or that she graduated or whatever, she couldn't get because the school closed down. Now, the school is still closed, mind you. It did not miraculously open back up. The school has been closed down. This is somebody who went to the school and was able to get his transcripts, y'all. Y'all, this is crazy, y'all. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Here we go.
That I was going to share some things with you. If you can read this, I said, let me see if she's telling the truth. I created an order today. And what you don't know is I took classes at Argosy. You don't know. What you don't know is I took classes at Argosy University.
This is crazy.
And I went to Argosy because Loyola's program, the PhD program, had closed down. But again, Argosy, which I had a really good experience until they closed down. So today I said, let me see if she's telling the truth. She said that students can't get their transcripts. So today, May the 13th, 2026, is that today? I went ahead and I paid to see what if I could get my transcript and how long it would take. So it cost me $27.50. It cost me $27.50. And I received a receipt in my email. And God dang, they charged me tax. They charged me tax, 83 cents. Yeah, that's my document right there. Yeah, it's from this website that everybody was talking about, the Parchment Team. So yeah, I I wanted to know, at least let me buy it, right? It let me purchase it. It let me purchase it. I'm like, okay, they let me purchase it. And so it then took me through a process to verify my email. I did that. Then it sent me my receipt again. Then it says access transcripts. It said access transcripts. Hold up, let's look at the times. Let's go back. I didn't even look at it like this, but I think it's good to look at it like that. Did it show me the time? Oh, I don't know if the time actually is on this one. But I don't know if the time is here. Okay, yeah, 5:51 it looks like here. So at 5:51 that receipt was sent. 5:53 your document has been received. I'm sorry, hold on. Oh, no, 5:51. Hold up, 5:51. I guess as soon as I got the receipt and I hit the button, everything came through at 5:51. So if you see, here's my transcript, y'all. My transcript today came through today. My full it says not official unless signed by the registrar. Let's see if the register signed. Authorized signature. All right. Now, y'all see that GPA? 4.0. And I worked for it. I worked for it for real.
All right. So, shout out to Dr. Dennis Winkler. He was able to go and he had to purchase his transcript, but he was still able to get it. She was saying she was not able to get it at all, which now everybody see that that's not true. It's a child, and there are a lot of people who are pulling receipts and pulling information out that shows that this lady is lying. And take it how you may. Some people don't have a problem with it, and some people, clearly there are a lot of people who do. But child, it is what it is. Successful MD says she must have honorary degrees from Temu State, child. Oh my God. Right, child, Lord. But people are saying she have honorary degrees from certain places, but not something that she has. She have no diplomas or. Child, it's just a lot going on. But listen, I guess time will tell how people really feel about this, and if people are still going to support her. Listen, that's your business. If you want to support somebody, even though they was busting in a lie, if they're not licensed, but they still helping you, well, that's your business. I mean, hey, that's your thing. But I think, I think it matters for people who are out here saying that they're doctors and practicing and all this kind of stuff and using it as a way to gain following and gain followers and supporters and people to get money from. I think that matters, but for some people it does not. Thank you, Successful MD. Successful MD also says, is she a graduate of Dr. Umar's imaginary school? Child, probably FDMG could be, child, because he another one that talks about FDMG as if it's running and opening, and it ain't doing nothing. But maybe, child, because that's another sketchy one in my opinion. But once again, people blindly follow you because they don't care. They just like the way you talk. If you can talk good, and if you notice something that to me Cheyenne Bryant and Umar has in common is they're good talk. They talk. They talk a lot. Because you got to keep talking. You can't let a break in, because if you do, somebody gonna come out with something that might be the truth. So you got to just keep talking. You can't run the time out with your mouth. Keep talking. Don't let them get a word in, because then they might make something true, and somebody might hear that, and then it might make people question some things. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep saying the buzz words, the things that whatever you're selling. My book. It's all about my book. I don't want to people to hear about, oh, this might be fraudulent, or this might be fake. No, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the good stuff so people won't know nothing about that. And so yeah, I mean, child, who knows, child. Thank you, Successful MD, for the support. I appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, the sisterhood will still back her, and that's fine. The Bonnet Crew of America, yeah, they like to follow people that's dear to their heart. Yeah, because if you can get, you can, you feel like you might do something like that. To me, people who follow like that is because you want to do something fraudulent, or you want to do something to gain the success and the money and of people without actually having to put in the work, because you would do some scamish stuff like that. That's, to me, that's the people that's supporting. I mean, look, I was never, I wouldn't see myself going to Cheyenne Bryant for any type of, therapy or anything like that. There are lots of quality and qualified therapists and people like that. If for my son or my child, if one of my children had to see a therapist, I wouldn't go to the internet for social media to find these people. I would go and find accredited people who actually have the licenses and degrees and been doing it for 20, 30 plus years, people who are experienced in that field, to get the best help for my child or my family member. I wouldn't take somebody that's on social media, who has a social media presence, to take them seriously as far as something serious in their nature like that anyway. So you got to think about the people who are supporting. Are they, where their head is at anyway? Because that's just not something you do. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Marcus, thank you for the super chat. Says, you so smart, D. Thank you. I appreciate that, child. I'm not all that smart. There are a lot of things I don't know, but I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't go to social media. I mean, I don't think anybody should. I think you should go look up real therapists where you see it says accredited. When you look up their names, it says accredited to tell you how long they've been doing it. It shows you the schools they've graduated from, their credentials. You could see it. You can look it up. You can really vet the proper people for what it is that you're looking for. So once again, you got to be accountable yourself. If you're going to people and paying money for something that you're not sure about, that's on you. You got to understand that there are scammers out there. There are people who are just grifting to get your money. And if you don't do your research, then you got to be held accountable too. Somebody on IG said Dr. Pepper and Dr. Dre never proved their credentials either. I'm done. Oh my God. That is funny. That is funny though. But baby, child, it's just a hot mess. But anyway, shout out to Cheyenne Bryant, baby. Girl, and you've been able to grift people and they okay with it. Well, maybe you'll still be in business, but I saw earlier somebody, who was that, saying that they might be investigating her. Probably, child. They probably are. Then this is what she has to be cautious and careful of. People are saying she's not wearing that chain that say Dr. Cheyenne Bryant anymore. They say she wearing a different one. I don't know, but it is what it is. I mean, she's not the first, and she won't be the last. People gonna believe and like who they like, and I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, the truth always comes to the light, and when it does, either just own up to it or and accept it. Put your big girl panties on and just be like, you know what, I'm you right. I lied about having the license because it made me look more reputable. I don't, and I'm not going to be operating in this way anymore. I take full accountability and I want to move forward. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm a coach. I'm a coach and I coach people, and that's perfectly fine. You don't need a license to coach folks. And that's just that. Nip it in the bud. That way people get over it and move on. But when you keep trying to push something that just can't be pushed, people really look at you like you're sketchy. People really need to look at you crazy. And yeah, she needs to be investigated, especially if she's worked, taking money from people for services. Now, if we don't know what I saw her on the Tonight's Conversation saying that she's been a licensed a doctor for 17 years. So in those 17 years, have you been counseling people? Have you been treating people and getting money? Then that's what's going to come into question if she's not really licensed. That's like any doctor that's faking a cosmetic surgeon doctor, or faking a pediatrician, or faking to be a ER doctor and working on people. You gonna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm saying that is illegal. So that is not something you just can make up and decide I want to do this and to get people money, and you've been benefited off folks and you're not really what you say you are. That is illegal. And there are certain different requirements for different states, but if you're acting as a private entity, which she probably is, then you really have to have your credentials. But child, it's neither here nor there. I don't think that it's a good look. I think, hopefully she can learn from this moving forward, and really like get it together. But it is what it is. I do think her credibility has taken a shot though, because now people are questioning it. Now people are saying, "Oh my God, no, you didn't. Why did you have to lie?" Like, stuff like that. You could have just been a coach. That'd have been enough where you can still go and do your coaching sessions and be on all these platforms. Why you have to, you know what I'm saying? Take it so far. But anyway, it is dangerous. It is dangerous. Manversations 2020 said, I said she's being investigated. These 3 female lawyers were talking about it. Oh, wow. Wow. Therapist. Yeah, she needs to be investigated. I mean, if she's done work and has sessions with people, yeah, you need to be investigated, because that's crazy. You can't do that. You can't do that. So I guess only time will tell how this all pans out and what happens, but this is just not a good look at all. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. 109 people watching. We got 96 likes. We're almost there. Somebody didn't hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. So shout out to Cheyenne Bryant, child. And shout out to Dr. Dennis Winkler for his video on this, where he showed the transcript, how easy it is to get so I'm like, Cheyenne Bryant, ma'am, go to Argosy website, child. You can get your transcripts, honey. If you didn't know, you could go get your transcripts, baby, because that's how you be talking to people. Come on, baby, go get your transcripts, girl. And you got them, you could go get them and then shut everybody up. Then everybody can stop talking, and everybody can backtrack and retract and apologize to you, girl. Because if you got them degrees, she already said she don't have a license in psychology or whatever, and whatever. But now they want to know if you really got these master's degrees that you say you got. All these degrees, girl. You got them, girl. Go and get paid. I know you got $27. You got all the money. Go and get the transcripts, girl, and shut people up so you can keep on and sell your books and stuff. Hell, I'm just saying. All right, y'all. That's enough of this. We're going to move on. I want to play this clip of this young lady. Then I want to get y'all thoughts on it. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. All right. I want to play this clip of what this woman had to say, which was really delusional in my mind. And I think this is how a lot of women think. And this is why a lot of them find themselves in these uncomfortable situations the older they get, because they really are walking around here thinking that they're living in a fairy tale, thinking that life's supposed to be a fairy tale, thinking that a man is supposed to be their Prince Charming child. Listen to this foolishness, and I want to get y'all thoughts on it. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Here we go.
At some point, every girl is going to experience her first good guy, and he's not to be confused with your soulmate, because he's usually not your soulmate. That's the gag. But his role in your life is still important, because after him, your dating life changes significantly. This is the guy that comes in to give you a glimpse of what it's like to be cared for, to be desired, and to feel like you were never asking for too much. Enough to change your perspective on dating, but not enough to be your soulmate. When I experienced my first good guy, I knew that he was definitely better than the guys that I had previously dated, but I also knew that the relationship wasn't going to be sustainable long term, because there were certain differences that inevitably sent us our separate ways. The role of the good guy is to simply teach you 2 things. Number 1, good men do exist. They are out there, and you were never asking for too much. The things that you feel like only exist in a movie or in books, it's real and it's out there. And number 2, just because something feels good enough doesn't mean it's exactly what you're looking for, and you do not need to settle. When you experience your first good guy, it's gonna feel good, but it's not gonna be as quite fulfilling as it will be with your soulmate. And that's the...
What do you mean your first good guy? How many good guys you think you're gonna come across? And how many good guys do you think are gonna want to choose you? See, this is the delusional aspect of a lot of these women. This is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. But she's saying some stuff in there that could be true. You come across a good guy, you know, and see, this is how I know women know that there are good guys out here. They just don't want the good guy. See? And when you are ready for the good guy, then you can't find one. See? If you can open your mouth and say, oh, you've come across a good guy, but oh, he's not your soulmate. Who do you think your soulmate is going to be? And what do you think he's going to look like? Do you think your soulmate is going to be like a fairy tale? Do you think he's going to be a man from the movies that's this all around perfect guy? Do you think that he's going to be your knight in shining armor? Do you think your ultimate soulmate guy is going to be so perfect and going to do everything that you want him to do? He's going to be the optimal man. He ain't going to have no flaws. He ain't going to have nothing about him that you don't like. He's going to be just... And if you think that kind of man is waiting for you, how are you going to show up for him? What is it about you that makes you think that you're going to get this all-encompassing man that's going to have all the money? He's going to have the 6 feet tall, the 6-pack abs, the sixes down there, you know, are all bigger. You know, they be talking about it. He's going to be perfect in every way. He's going to wine and dine you, pay for all the trips, pay all the bills, put you on a pedestal, run behind you, chase you down, be obsessed with you. What is it? Why is the focus always on this type of man, and the focus is never on you, and you not thinking, what is that type of man going to want from a woman? Do you even measure up for that type of man who might come close to that? What if that type of man don't want a woman with weave in her head? What if that type of man don't want a big woman? What if that type of man don't want a dark-skinned woman? I'm just saying, what if the man you're describing don't see you at all? What are you going to do? And if you've come across a man that's a good man who was interested in you, why are you dismissing him and thinking that you won't have all these opportunities to get something even better? And it's going to be all roses and so perfect and so this. This is where these women mess up. I don't know who's giving them this information, but I'm telling you, it's not good information, baby. It is not good information. And this is why a lot of these women are single. We have a single mother epidemic, because they end up going and having a baby for some dude that ain't nothing like they're describing. And wanting a guy that's nothing like you're describing, but your soulmate is going to be this super, a super just perfect man. Like, this is so delusional. It doesn't make sense. Successful MD says, in short, once Pukatized, I'm ruined for life. Right. Thank you, Successful MD. Captain Caveman, thank you for the super chat. Says, I don't trust no chick that speaks like a valley girl. Why? Thank you, Captain Caveman. Why, though? Bad experience? Okay. But what I'm saying is, it's a delusional way of thinking, but let's continue.
The distinction between the two. The good guy is like the appetizer, and the soulmate is like the full course meal. And the ironic part is that when you meet your soulmate, he's gonna make the good guy look like a decent man, because the things that you thought that you would never find in another man that you had in the good guy, your soulmate is going to not only meet those expectations, but exceed them. The good guy was never supposed to be your end game. He simply came to show you a glimpse of what was possible.
Now, there were women in her comments who were saying, I don't know what you're talking about because I married the first good guy. There were a lot of women who were saying they married the good guy that they first met. That's their husbands now, which is typically how that goes. But the way she's talking, if she keeps thinking this way and moving this way, she's going to be single. She's going to realize ain't too many good guys out there that's for you. She going to realize that it's not what she thinks. You know, reality is going to set in if it hasn't already. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she finds her so-called soulmate, I've seen people who said they married their soulmates and they end up divorced. So, you know, you would think with all this soulmate talk that once you do find them, that y'all going to go all the way to the end. And a lot of these people who call soulmate stuff be divorced. Just telling you. A lot of people I know, I want my soulmate. I found my soulmate. And next thing you know, oh, well, it's just, we couldn't work it out. We had to go our separate ways. Like, come on now. So you waited all this time for your soulmate, then you leave him? Like, it's just a delusional. It's delusional. really delusional. Let's continue.
Crumb of what was possible. Because the guys that came before him weren't doing enough, you're gonna feel like, oh my God, this is it. This is my soulmate. He's not your soulmate. Your soulmate has not arrived yet. Enjoy the good guy. Allow yourself to be receptive of healthy love. Allow yourself to understand that the things that you desire in a man are not impossible, but also understand that he is not endgame. He is only the tip of the iceberg. He is only the appetizer, and the entree is not even here yet.
Yeah, that's just horrible advice. Horrible advice. Horrible. Okay. But these young women are giving this advice to other women and they're eating it up because they want to believe that. You want to, and I get it. You want to believe that you're going to hold out to the best option possible while you've come across good guys who might have been interested in you. Oh, he's just the appetizer. Oh my God. Let's have fun with him. Let's accept him for being this nice guy and possibly wanting to be with you. But oh no, I can't be with you because I gotta wait for my soulmate. My soulmate gonna come and he gonna be 10 times better than you. Then you hit 30, 40, and you looking around like, soulmate, where you at? I'm waiting. Where you at? While getting ran through by Pookie and Ray Ray, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, you know, Tom Cruise. Like you out here getting ran through waiting on your soulmate. How that don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. But this is the illogical view of a lot of these modern women. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. You if you had any sense, if you've come across, this is why we say, hey, most people in general, men and women, have come across the person they were supposed to be with and they weren't ready. That's typically what you're not ready. And then you either, I've had men on my panel say this, that they've come across a woman who was probably supposed to be their wife, but they weren't ready. And you pass that person up and then you go on and then you keep meeting women who don't even want marriage, don't even want you, or are not ready. You see what I'm saying? And so I just think it's a mistake a lot of people make. Captain Caveman says, dirt between them tatas. I love that crunchy song. Oh my God. Ew. Thank you, Captain Caveman, for the support. Ew. Night Call 411 says, so the good guy is the appetizer and the soulmate is the main course. Does that mean that the soulmate can be a bad guy? Night Call, that's what they end up running into. And it ain't no damn soulmate. You end up by your goddamn self. Oh my God. That's what end up happening. Right. So you end up with a guy, they end up with a guy that or just really just getting ran through. Thank you, Night Call 411. I appreciate you. Just end up getting ran through because it's not somebody that end up marrying you and taking you seriously. They end up falling for somebody that's using somebody that don't want to be with them. And you don't wasted all this time thinking you're going to, it just doesn't make sense. And I really wish they would stop talking and telling young women this, or hopefully there's some young women out here who have sense enough not to eat this bullshit up, because this doesn't make sense. It doesn't. But I wanna play this particular video from AntCEO. Shout out to AntCEO. I'll try to put the link to his original video in the description. But he was talking about this as well. And I just want to hear a little bit of his perspective on this because he's spot on. And I just think this is why I say you got to put some logical sense out here. Because if not, it's just going to be a bunch of BS and a bunch of foolishness that's leading these people astray. That is some dumb information. If you are really serious about having a connection with somebody and a future with somebody, you should start when you're younger. And if you come across a good guy that's wanting to be with you and y'all want to build something, y'all should start building then. Just waiting and oh my God, I want something better at the end. It's going to be the end all be all so great. It's just foolish. And then when they get to that point, then now you're tired, you're run down, you're looking distraught, confused, wondering why God ain't sent you your soulmate because you're just stupid. That's all. It just you're acting in a foolish manner, and you don't even know what you're looking for, and then you don't know if you're prepared for what you're looking for. That's the thing. It doesn't make sense. And this is why they say a lot of these women, you done passed up the person that you were supposed to be with because you're looking for something more. And this is what women do. Hold out, hold out, hold out. I want something more. Oh, he's a nice guy, but he don't do it for me. He not tall enough. Oh, I'm going to go meet another guy. I met another nice guy, but something about him ain't right. I don't think that's my soulmate. And you keep going till you run out of options. And then you're left with what's there. And then you're wondering why you can't get a husband, why you don't have a family. I thought I would have children and a family by 35, and you don't have it. Why? Because you missed your own opportunities. You did it to yourself. Let's check out what AntCEO had to say. Here we go.
So just for real quick, for all the people in relationships that are married and have a boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband, this is what I mean. This is why I do my dating show that I do. Number one, what I want y'all to understand is she basically what she's promoting is promiscuity. So basically what she is saying is what most modern women push, unfortunately, is that you should.
What's going on, Mr. Walker 96? How you been? Shout out to you, says. Talk to him, Sister DeeDee. How you been? Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you for being a member. Thank you. Successful MD says, looks like they only want to build access to money. Exactly. Women think all men are tall, and we're not. How, Alex, baby, these people are. That's why I call it delusional. They're delusional, and you want to stay delusional, then you keep putting yourself in a position to not get what you get any of what you want. Being delusional does not help, in my opinion. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you, bro. Let's continue.
Should deal with more men. That's what she's pushing. The more men you deal with is going to help, and we understand that the actual opposite happens, because our grandmothers and our great grandmothers didn't have to go through that. Like, they didn't have to jump from dick to dick to finally realize what they wanted. Unfortunately, the reason why this is her mentality, because her father was not there. See, when these women don't have their fathers in their lives, they don't have any guidance. What they need is guidance. They need somebody telling them, no, you need to close your legs. No, don't dress that way. No, don't hang out with this type of group. No, don't go to places like this. Don't be out this late. They're not getting that. They're not hearing that. Their mothers don't give them the game that they deserve. A lot of women coddle, I wouldn't say coddle, but a lot of women are delusional, so they don't even give their daughters the game that they should give them. A lot of the times this is coming from a negative disposition that they have towards men anyway, from their mothers. So she's basically pushing promiscuity. That's number one. Secondly, and we're gonna go through this one by one.
At some point, every girl is gonna experience her first good guy, and he's not to be confused with your soulmate, because he's usually not your soulmate. That's the gag. But
okay, so number one, every woman isn't going to experience a good guy, because every woman isn't even going to talk to the so-called good guy. Because what the problem is that a lot of women don't understand is there are plenty of good men out here, ladies. I'm going to say it again. There are plenty of good men out here. The problem is a lot of the good guys you're not attracted to. I'm going to say that again. There are a lot of good men out here. You're just not attracted to them. They're not 6'7". They don't have a 10-inch penis. They don't have $1 million. They don't drive a Lamborghini. They don't have all this status and all of this outside worldly view stuff that you probably care about. More specifically, younger women. Older women are sometimes just as delusional as well, because you still have the mentality of the younger women. Maybe not Lamborghini, this and that, but you still have a small subset of those things that you care about as well. A lot of good men go to work and come home. They're not in the club. They're not out there trying to be known. Everybody doesn't know them. They go to work and they come home. They're boring guys, and boring, once I put the quotations, they're not even really boring. They're just doing things that grown men should do, which is, again, go to work and come home. They're not outside in the mix. They're not up in everybody's faces. They're not at bars and lounges. They getting their money and they going home because that's what they know that they need to do. Most good men are established and they stay consistent within their routine. They make sure that the stuff is done. Right. Another thing that a lot of women don't understand, what comes with a good man is a certain level of structure that you need to uphold. A lot of women have never been with a lot of good men because good men are going to hold you accountable. A lot of women want a good man when it only comes from things that they get from him, dates and flowers and romantic stuff, and him being nice and all of this lovey-dovey extra feeling stuff. But it's never usually about him holding her accountable and telling her the things that she needs to do to be better, so that she can either be a better woman on her own or a better woman when she's with that man. That's a whole nother side of it.
And listen, this is the stuff I talk about all the time. He's absolutely right. No lies detected. And this is the stuff these young women, even the older women, either haven't been accustomed to, or they just don't want to. They don't want that. And even some of the women who have been married, who end up leaving their husbands, these are the reasons why they left. Oh, he was too boring. Oh, I wanted more. No, you wanted more excitement, or you know what I mean? He just doesn't do it for me anymore. Oh my God, he's just too mundane. No, because you want to go out and get ran through by Pookie, Ray Ray, Roddy, Bobby, Rick, and Mike. You want to go out and you want to have fun. You're tired of being responsible and being a responsible wife to a husband that cares about you. You want to go out and have fun, run in the streets, act like you're 20 years old again, and go out and get ran through. And then when that's over, then you're looking back for that stability from that man that you had. Because once you realize this being outside was a temporary fix, it wasn't something that was meant to be long lasting. Now you want to reach back for that stability, and that man has moved on. This is something a lot of women go through. And and you would think that then they will come out and talk to the young women to say, hey, this is not the move to make. Even though we see a couple of them doing that, the majority of them don't. They still try to blame him somehow. Like it just doesn't. A lot of these women want a fairy tale. Once again, you want something that does not exist. You want this something that you don't know what it is because it doesn't exist. You just want a man, like he said, to buy you things. A good man to a lot of these women is buying them stuff, taking care of them, but not taking care of you in a responsible way. Because taking care of you in a responsible way, in my opinion, is making sure you have a roof over your head. You have a stable roof, that you have food, you have clothes, that the bills are paid for. Things are your future. They're looking into the future endeavors. You're taking care of the family. That to me, a man taking care of you is not trips and being outside and flowers and expensive shoes and clothes all the time. That's not what a responsible man is doing. That's not what you should look for in a responsible man who's actually taking care of you. They look at taking care of getting them Gucci and Louis and doing all this stuff so that they can look good for the gram. That sounds like irresponsible teenager mindsets. That's not what real grown adults are looking to do. People are out here working, taking care of families. They're not out here worried about Gucci and Louis and stunting for the gram. Like that's an immature mindset. And this is what a lot of these older, it's not just the younger women who are looking for this, but the older women are looking at this as well. Successful MD says, looks like they only want to build access to money. Yeah, that's it. Captain Caveman, thank you, Successful MD. Captain Caveman says they want a simp mate, not a soul mate. Right. Who's gonna simp to their every needs and get them everything that they want. That's a good, and just let them do what they want too. That's a good man to these women. Captain Caveman also says Lamborghini and Versace's. That's all I got for them. That's crazy. What is that? Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. Successful MD says soap and water should be her soulmate. Oh, wow. Thank you, Successful MD. I appreciate you. He says soap and water should be her child. I ain't going there. Y'all crazy as hell. Yeah, it's just a delusional mindset, and they're gonna realize it, but by the time they realize it, it's too late. I always say, look, if you want something substantial, if you want something real, you got to think realistically, and you got to have a mindset of what that looks like. You got to know what that looks like. And to me, marriage and commitment and family, it's not about how much you can spend on me. It's not about giving me Gucci and Louis and all this foolishness that really doesn't matter. Now, I'm not saying that you can have some nice things now, but that comes with time. There's nothing wrong with looking nice, and you don't have to look nice with name brands. That's another thing too. That's just me, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about all of that, but I'm just not one to think that everything has to have a label and everything has to be name brand. Everything has to, I gotta be Gucci head to toe. No, I don't think like that. That's never been my mentality and never will be. Now, do I have some things, on that? Yeah, but it's not a staple and it's not a necessity, and I don't need it, and I don't need it every week, and every week I need a new pair of this and a new. But no, it's not a necessity, and that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be on prioritizing the things that matter. And this is why, once again, for men who are out here vetting women for, healthy, stable relationships and marriages, you got to pick a woman who is not materialistic like that. A woman who's all into this stuff, and that's all she cares about, and all she cares about celebrity following celebrities activity and what they do and what they wear, then you know that that's somebody who's not focused on the things that matter. She's not focused on building a future with you. She's only focused on a lifestyle and what looks good for right now. And if you are really trying to have something substantial with a woman, that would not be the woman that I would advise you to pick, because she's going to drain you dry. She's going not in the way that y'all want. She's going to drain you dry financially. And then that's going to be a hassle for you to maintain, because she's going to look for you to maintain it. She doesn't bring nothing to the table. She wants to be outside. She wants to have a good time. She's not going to want to be a loving, nurturing wife for you and a family. She's going to be outside to show this Gucci and gooey that you're buying, Gucci and that you're buying. She's going to want to be outside and stunting and showing people how good how good of a man she has, because he can buy her all these things. That's going to be a uphill battle for you, because you're going to have to maintain that. And there's nothing wrong with, giving your wife or your girlfriend something nice, or her giving you something nice here and there, but it shouldn't be based upon that. People buy gifts and all kinds of things for their spouses all the time, but it's not just about that. It's like, no, this is a lifestyle they want. They want to shine for the gram, and they want you to be the one paying for it. That's it. It's not about nothing else. And so this is why I say these types of women, and because we see a lot of women who are looking for that type of lifestyle, they're looking for you to finance it. And when this is, once again, when I say, when you find women who are asking for money on the first dates, that's a red flag, and you should not be dealing with her. Night Call 411 once again says, if a woman's soulmate is to already be put together and well established, why do a man's soulmate expect him to lead and teach her how to be his soulmate? If a woman's soulmate is to already be put together and well established, why do a man's soulmate expect him to lead and teach her how to be his soulmate? Well, see, the thing about a woman's soulmate, there's no expectations on the woman's side. In her mind, she, and I'm trying to read this so I can understand. A woman's soulmate is already to be put together, right? The man, and well established. So that'd be the man. Why do a man's soulmate expect him to lead and teach her how to be his soulmate? The woman is looking for a soulmate, and the soulmate is to be everything that she wants in him. She is not thinking about herself being a soulmate to a man. But if a man is looking for, I don't know. I hear women talk about soulmates. I don't hear too many men talk about soulmates. And I know they probably do, but I don't hear too many men talk about a soulmate. But most men will say, hey, they want a woman that they can lead, and who will follow, woman they can show new things, a woman that she can be excited about new adventures and things like that. They want to be the one to provide that for her and show her stuff. So, but in a woman's mind, women are the ones who I always hear talk about. I've always heard women talk about soulmates. My soulmate this, my soulmate that. Her soulmate is a man who's going to give her everything that she desires, everything that she wants. I don't hear men talking about soulmates. I think men, and then women don't look at a soulmate on either side. She just says, I want a soulmate. He has to be everything that I want. She doesn't think about what he wants. That's the problem with dating now. A lot of women don't think about what the man would want. What if the man is saying, hey, I want a soulmate, and I want my soulmate to look like this. I want my soulmate to be this type of woman. And if she's saying, hey, I want you are my soulmate, and how you look and what you bring to the table, all that. But then he said, well, you're not mine. This is where the mismatch happens. This is where they're not lined up. And women always like to talk about equally yoked. Well, for who? It's all about what the woman wants, and they don't ever consider what a man would want. And I think that's what they're realizing now. This woman is saying her soulmate according to what she's looking for. And a man could present himself to her in a way that is all appealing to her, but she would not be as appealing to him. So you don't get him. So what you would assume your soulmate would look like and what he would have and how he would show up, you may not be his soulmate. You may be not the woman that he sees as a soulmate or somebody that he wants. So I don't know how. That's why I say this is why it's a problem for these women. They think it's all about them, and they have the control and the power over this, and they don't. The ultimate control comes from the man, because he's the one who gets to pick who he think is good for him. And if she's wanting him, then he gets what he wants. She wants him, she's what he wants, and he pick her. But if she wants him, but she's not what he wants, then he don't pick her. So even if your soulmate could be all what you think is all that is cracked up to be, but if he don't want you, child, how is he your soulmate? Soulmate thing is a one-sided thing. It would mean that both people would have to see each other as soulmates. You know what I mean? So of course, a soulmate for most women is going to be a man who is well established, put together, already at the finish line, right? But they don't think about what the man would see as a soulmate or a potential mate. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, so why do a man's soulmate expect him to lead and teach her how to be his soulmate? A child, I don't. It's just, it's a hot. This is how crazy it is. You know what I mean? The men are the ones who will look for certain types of women that they like. And if you find a woman that you like and she liking you, and then you pick her. If you see her as potential for marriage or relationships, you pick her. But women don't think like that. Women think, I want my soulmate and I'm not going to stop till I get him. And when I find the one who's my soulmate, and then you realize he don't want you, this when you're crashing out on social media. Because I've seen women crash out. For this woman met the man at the gym. I don't know if y'all remember that story. And she liked him, but he didn't really like her. He talked to her and went out on a couple of dates with her, but ultimately he didn't choose her. And she was crashing out mad, saying that's her soulmate. She thinks he's her soulmate, but he don't think the same. So it didn't work, child. Thank you, Night Call. Thank you. I appreciate the question. Thank you for the super chat. Child, this is why it's a hot mess. Captain Caveman says, that's because you are the name brand, your family name. I get what you're saying, Captain Caveman. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you. Captain Caveman also say, I buy brand name lotion, tissue, and DVDs. You buy brand name lotion, tissue, and DVDs. Gotcha. Child, let me tell you something. You know, I'm frugal when it comes to that kind of stuff, baby. It don't have to have no brand name on it unless I've had a good experience with that, and that's just a brand that I like, and I'll keep buying it. But child, sometimes the cheaper brands are just as good as the name brand. It's not about that. It's the quality of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stuck on no labels and brand name brands. I am really not. Child, what's cheaper? Well, we got a big family, child. We got to make things stretch and last long. So it ain't about name brand. It's about what's good. If it's got a brand on it and it's a good quality and it's good, okay, cool. And it's affordable, yeah. But hell, everything don't have to have no name brand on it, child. Captain Caveman says she'll be eventually looking for her old mate. Oh my God. Right. And then that's gonna be hard to find too, because child, once you get older, then them older men don't even want you. They want something younger. So, child, it's just a mess. Thank you, Captain Caveman, for the support. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
But let's keep going.
His role in your life is still important because after him.
Oh, and real quick too, there's no. I think another thing too that we need to start mentioning as well, and this goes for men too. There is no soulmate. This whole soulmate thing, let me break this down from a logical perspective to y'all. When we talk about this soulmate stuff, number one, if this whole soulmate stuff was true, your soulmate can be anybody, right? Let's just use the logic on the soulmate stuff, because everybody has a soulmate, from women like her and other delusional women that believe that you have a soulmate. If the soulmate thing is all about your soul, his skin color is not going to matter. His ethnicity is not going to matter. His height, his penis size, his financial stability, because it's all about the soul, right? So none of these outside worldly view stuff matters. So if your soulmate could be a 5'4" man in Vietnam somewhere churning butter, that could be your soulmate. So it's all about the soul. See, that whole stuff is a lie. These women don't really have first of all, you don't have a soulmate. That's a lie. But their soulmate is whatever the superhero man that they have in their head is. There's no true soulmate. First of all, there are a larger number of women than there are men, which would mean that if it is a soulmate out there for you, you're going to have to share. I'm going to say that again. There's a larger population of women than there are men in America. So guess what? You're going to have to share. And somebody's going to be like, what about people that are homosexuals? Women are homosexual too. So that will cancel out.
Exactly.
So you gonna have to share if it is a soulmate, which means that you ain't, monogamy is not gonna be for the extra. I think there's what, like 4 million more women than it is men in America, around that range. Don't quote me on that, but it's around that range. So some of y'all gonna have to share. There's no soulmate. There's this thing that a lot of these younger delusional modern women believe, that there's like, and older women, you see it sometimes too, where y'all believe like no matter what, there's going to be a man out there for me. No, it's not.
Right.
Look at the majority of your aunties. Look at the majority of your cousins and friends and mothers and grandmothers. The majority of them are single. Statistically, that's true. Some of y'all may not be that. They may not be your own life, but the statistics are true. The majority of men and women, when they get older in the age, do become single in this new world in 2025. What makes you think that you're special from everybody else, that you're not gonna fall in line with that? Especially when you don't believe that you need to put in any work. See, the difference is too, is a lot of women like this believe I don't need to put in any work to get what I want. I deserve a good man because I said so, and he's gonna be everything that I ever wanted, and he's gonna have status and have money and do all of this superhero stuff. No, he gonna come with flaws.
Right.
Yo, man that you want, he gonna come with flaws.
Right.
He ain't gonna be perfect. But guess what? The stuff that he has that you don't like, you gonna get with another dude, and that same dude is gonna have stuff that the other dude maybe didn't have. But guess what? He gonna come with stuff you don't like either. He's not going to be perfect. This is not a Cinderella story. You're not going to find Superman. That's not how this life works. Everybody going to come with flaws and things about them that you're not going to like. But it's about accepting those things and understand that these things are a part of a relationship and you get through it. So
listen, I don't know how many times I've said that on this very channel. I said because it's the truth. You think you going to get with a perfect man, a perfect woman? Hell no. Nobody is perfect. I said this, I say this over and over and over and over. There's no perfect nobody. This is why I say, look, you find somebody who has the majority of the qualities that you want, but she might have crooked toes, or you know what I'm saying? Like, hell, you might meet a guy, he might smoke, which I can't smoke. Oh God, I can't deal with that. My husband does not smoke. We don't smoke, but I'm just saying that, but what I'm saying, there's going to be something about the person that you might not like. But if the majority of the things that you like about them overrides the few things you don't like, boom, you better grab them up. Grab them up. They have the majority of the qualities that you want, but there are a few things that you're like, damn, I don't really like this about her, or I don't like, but it's something that you could deal with. Rock with it, because you're not going to find a perfect person. You're just not. We're all flawed for a reason. There should be more things about the person that you like, or certain things that you'll be willing to look over because you really care about this person, and this is such a good person. You mean to tell me you're gonna walk over a good person because they got a crooked toe and you a feet guy? You know, you might meet a woman, she got one big toe, but she's a good woman and great in all the areas. You're going to say, oh, hell no, I got to keep looking at that. Ma'am, put on some socks, baby. Put the sock over your feet, ma'am, baby. I love you, but I can't look at that toe. Or maybe you could get that toe fixed eventually. Like there are certain things that you know what I'm saying, like shouldn't matter. Because then you're going to meet a woman who got perfectly good toes. Perfect. And she's a hellion and she's a bee. And she don't really like you and she talk to you stupid and treat you bad. Like, so which one do you weigh your options, baby? Which one do you want? What makes sense? So I said this before, you know, the people out here who looking for perfection, that's why they stay single. There's no such thing. There's no perfect person. So this is why I say vet people and get to know them and learn their flaws and how they are and things of that nature. That way you can determine if this, you know what, I really care about this person. I really want to be with him. And she got some flaws, or he got some flaws. But you know what? I really like the majority of things about him. So I'm going to give this a try. But if you're looking for perfection all the way around, child, you just might as well be by yourself. That's all I'm saying. You might as well be by yourself. Ain't no such thing as a perfect person. Let's continue.
This whole soulmate stuff, and again, the soulmate thing that they have in their head is a super dude that don't exist. He don't even exist. It's not about this quote unquote, I want a good man. No, you want him to be tall and attractive and masculine and have money and have this and have that. That don't have nothing to do with being a good man. You a good man if you tall or if you short. You a good man if you fat or if you skinny. You a good man if you ugly, if you attractive. None of those other things are attached to this, oh, I just want a good man stuff. It's just, I just want a good man, but they never add other things. You know what I mean? You know how many women, younger women specifically, right? I'm speaking on more so women from the ages of 18 to 30. Not saying that the women from 30 plus are off the hook, but it's just less likely for y'all. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I know older guys are, no, they're these women. I'm not saying that they don't operate like that way too. I'm saying it's more prevalent in younger women. You know how many types of men talk to these women all day, even if they semi-attractive? A 6. You know how many DMs that a 6 will get online? It's 2025. Social media is just like DoorDash for sex at this point. It's 2025. Do you know how many of these guys are shooting their shot at these girls on an everyday basis? But because they don't think that man is attractive enough, they'll never respond. They'll only respond to the dudes that they see has some type of status and they got some type of money or something going on, or he looks some type of way. Not if he's a good man or not. He just got to look the part. And then they figure out if he's a good man or not. So they throw away the dudes that are the good men because he's not attractive enough. It just is what it is.
Right.
And then they'll be like, okay, well, these guys aren't good out here. Yeah, but every single guy you talking to is a part of the 1%. Don't expect the 1% man to act like the regular dude, because he's not going to be the regular dude. Don't expect that. It's not going to happen like that. You want the super rich dude and all the super guy stuff, guess what? He going to probably act like that. Men with money tend to be more arrogant. They tend to be more pompous. They tend to be a little bit of an asshole. They tend to be controlling. All of these stuff that you women claim y'all don't want. They tend to come with these things. Unfortunately, that's how life works.
Yeah, and the thing about that is because they try to force a narrative. It's like you're trying to. I always use the Tupac in a suit analogy. It's like you want Tupac in a suit. You want the swag of Tupac, the look of Tupac, his attitude and all of that, but you want him to be a faithful, monogamous husband to you and only come home, go to work, come home to you, don't have no eyes for any other women or things like that. This is this is why they say they won't settle, because you're thinking that you're going to get this man where you can have the best of both worlds, super attractive, swag, all of the stuff that these women like. Love rough around the edges, little gangster attitude, but love you and come home and treat you perfectly, and you have kids with him and you'll be at the house for him and do all these things, but you want him to come home every day. You want him to be like an average man, go to work, come home, be there for you, help you out in the house, do all of the things that these women want, but you want him to be super attractive, all of these things. Tupac in a suit. And you want him to marry you and just be with you and and have all the money and all this stuff. But most of those men, like he said, they know that they have options. They usually come with a bit of arrogance. Because they know, hey, I can have the pick of the litter. Why would I just settle down with one woman when I can have all these women? I can have a different woman every night. I can have multiple women if I want to. They want to exhaust their options till they are ready to be with one woman. So, but this is why the majority of the women are going for these 1% of men, because that's what they want. But they end up wanting him to just only commit to them. And these men don't typically do that. As opposed to getting an average man who would commit to you and y'all build a life together. They don't want to do that. They're hoping and praying that they can go get one of these rich men who's going to marry them, be with just them, build a life with them, and they have the best of both worlds. And then the women who say that they've dated these men end up not having relationships with them either, because it's not what you thought it was. But then you still keep looking for the same type of guy, which is insanity. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
Same flip side applies with the ladies, fellas. If you want a very attractive woman, guess what? She's probably going to be a lot more egotistical. She's probably not going to want to listen to you as much. She's probably not going to care about what you have to say. And guess what? You got to spend more money 9 times out of 10, because if she's an attractive woman, guess what? It's dudes throwing bags at her. So you have to find that median. Men do it too. I'm not saying men don't do it. Men do it too, but men are a lot more realistic because we don't get handouts in the dating market just because we exist. Yeah, if you 6'7" and you got money, you're gonna get handouts, but you had to become something. You had to get to that point. You didn't just exist and you just got it. Unless you 6'7" or 6'9", how many men are above 6 feet? Only 14.5% of men are above 6 feet. So 85% of men ain't getting no women when it comes to just their height. That's the point that I'm trying to make. But let's keep going. A lot of dudes with money tend to be frugal. They don't blow money on women. For those who know men with money know this. Yeah, and they expect, okay, I want my dude to have money, then just all throw it on me. No, that's not how it goes. Because if you really cared about that man and longevity, you would want him to keep his money. Not to say that you can't show your woman no love and spend no money on her, but you wouldn't want him to just throw it on unnecessary goods.
Baby, how many times have I said that? I've said that so many times. A woman who's into you and cares about you, she doesn't want you to spend money frivolously. I've said that so many times, Lord. And I believe that. Because I mean, if you're really looking at a man for a relationship and you want to be with him, even if he make good money, you don't want him just spending his money frivolously. You understand that, hey, you want to build a life with this man. Y'all want to have kids. You want to have something for you're thinking of things that matter. But a lot of these women don't give a damn because they don't care about none of that. They just want what they want when they want it, and you better give it to them. If not, on to the next. Like that's the type of mentality we hear from a lot of these modern women. But a woman who's really about you and really, she's not going to want you to spend a whole lot of money, all this money on, for instance, a wedding ring. A good woman is not going to want you to spend all this extravagant money on a ring. She might want a nice ring, but she'll be like, oh, no, you didn't need to spend that much. Because that's not her focus. She doesn't care about all that. She's not superficial. She wants something nice. And women take that as, oh, well, she's just wanting the bottom of the barrel, or he's just giving her the bottom of the barrel. No, she has other things that are much more important in mind. She doesn't just focus on materialistic things. That ain't you. I see lots of women who have a lot of money, and their husbands they have a lot of money collectively, and they have little band rings. I know a lot of people, non-black people though, to be honest. Some black, but the majority of them aren't black. See, when you see their wedding, some white women I know, you see their wedding ring, it's a band. They'll have their names engraved on a plain band ring. It might have been it might have cost a little something to be simple, but they're not even trying to be extravagant like that. They'll have their names engraved in their ring, and it's just a simple band. Or small little diamond rings or something simple. They don't want this big, extravagant, big old ring on their finger. A lot of them don't care about all of that. But here people equating your love for them is based on the amount of money you could spend on them. That is the stupidest thing ever. That's just a wasted mentality. So you're comparing the love a person would have for you to how much money they spend on you. That's why they don't think coffee dates are okay. What? It's just a bear. It's so stupid. And I just don't know where this came from. Why they think this way. So if he don't spend $500 on a date for you, I mean, what if a man does spend $500 on a date for you and he still just get some draws and then leave, ghost you? Then what? Now what? What does that matter? The men with the money, who that ain't nothing to, they'll spend the money on you and still ghost you. They get what they want, they out. They don't want you for real. They don't mind spending. So it doesn't make any sense, y'all. It really does not make any sense. It really doesn't. But this is the so-called logic of a lot of these modern women. They don't get it. And then when they out here by themselves, they saying, I don't get it. Why I can't get no man? Child, just look at what you're saying. Captain K, man, thank you for the super chat. Says, want a high value dude to cook garbage for. Franks and Kool-Aid for dinner looking at him. Oh my God. Franks. That is garbage. I will tell you, child. Now, who is making some damn Franks and Kool-Aid? Like, yeah, that's garbage for sure. Captain Caveman, child, right? Nobody don't want that. Like, but yeah, what they be fixing? And the number one meal for a lot of these modern women is that Alfredo shit. Excuse my language, y'all. Alfredo. I don't even like Alfredo. Like, but that's what they make, chicken Alfredo or whatever. That'd be the first thing they go in. And my husband don't even drink milk, so he couldn't even eat that. But and I think my children are allergic to that. But anyway, I think that's another thing they'll make. So, child, you couldn't even make that for my sons. I'm just saying, like, thank you, Captain Caveman. Is it Kamai 27? I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the super chat. It says Kermit the Frog walking around on two legs isn't real. Oh my God. Kermit the Frog walking around on two legs isn't real, child. Thank you for the super chat. I hope I said your name right. Kamai? I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you, 27. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you so much for being here. Night Call 411 says, tough question. If you're a woman with several kids by several men, you've been married once or twice, what else can you offer your soulmate exclusively that you haven't already given to several men. Nothing. That's not nothing. There's nothing else you've been married. That didn't work out. You've already given the men children. There's nothing exclusive that you could give him at this point. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, at that point, a woman, several kids by several men, you've been married once or twice. What else can you offer yourself? There's nothing else. I mean, first off, if the man doesn't have children, or if he has children, but if he doesn't have children and he wants children, I mean, if you can still have children, I guess you can offer him a child. I mean, if you still want children, you could offer him another kid, a child, his child. But I mean, he could find a woman who doesn't have any kids and go try that route. But I mean, most men don't want that because you've already given it to somebody. Most men are simple, in my opinion, but men have most men know exactly what they want. Most men already view things a certain way. This is where women don't understand it. Most men don't want a woman who already is given that. They don't want a woman who already got 2 baby daddies, 2 ex-husbands. I'm just saying, even if you was married or not, they look at it like you was married, but why didn't you stay in your marriage? Like, men to me are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Men are more strict when it comes to what they want when it comes to a woman than I think women are. Women go back and forth, and they sometimes don't know exclusively what they want. They just know it when they feel it. It's about a feeling for women. But men are more logical based and know exactly what they want. And sometimes they don't deviate from that. You know, sometimes they could be too strict, some men, in their standards to where they won't let nothing outside of what they believe. Like, you know, there are men who like, hey, I want a virgin. Some men, which I think sometimes I do believe virgins exist. But I mean, you know, that in this day and age, that might be a little bit unrealistic that you're going to find somebody who hasn't been with anybody, which they do exist now. They do exist. But there are other factors that go with that as well, because, you know, now women, you gotta ask all the questions, like, because they be like, am I virgin to what? Okay. Is it just virgin to the JJ part? Yes, but a lot of times they're not virgins to the other parts. Okay. So you really got to ask, are you a virgin all the way around or what? Because they done had everything else except for that part. They preserved that coochie, but then everything else has been ran through. Like, that's their logic. So you got to ask, are you but you know what I mean? In this day and age, I would think it's a bit unrealistic to believe that you're going to find the woman that you like that's a virgin. And even though there are women who are virgins and exist, good women, but you really got to look and you got to ask the questions. But I just think that for what men are looking for, it depends on what the man is looking for. You know, if he wants a family and he wants a family with his wife and a woman who's doesn't have kids by other men, then that's going to be a deal breaker for him. And so there's nothing you can offer him at that point if he's not, you know, if you don't have what he's looking for. So I think a lot of this stuff is really person specific. It's really about what you're looking for, what you won't settle for versus what that person is looking for. What can y'all do together? You know, how y'all can build something together. Because the truth, me and my husband was talking about this yesterday. There are people who have non-negotiables and they have standards and things that they just won't accept. Like some men won't date a woman with kids, and that's just their, you know, they can't negotiate that. But there are men who say that. There have been men that we know of that have said that, oh, they don't want a woman with kids, and they've been single because all of the women who they've come across seem to be good women, but they had kids, right? So to the point to where this person broke down and said, you know what? I'm dating a woman that has a kid, right? And he's in a relationship with that woman, even though he said initially, I don't want a woman with kids, but the woman has a child. He happens to like her and he's with her and she has a child. So, and they seem to be doing well, right? So I think there are some cases where people have these non-negotiables until they meet somebody that kind of does it for them, somebody that they really like, and then that goes out the window and they don't care because it's somebody that they really like and they don't want to lose the person, and that person seems to like them and they seem to hit it off. but they seem to, then they end up accepting it. So I think a lot of times people say things until it's a person that they really like, or it seems like it could be something, and then that kind of goes out the window. So there are people who do that as well, and I think women do it all the time, and I think men do it too. As the person I reference, yeah, they didn't want nobody with a child at all, but then end up being with the person. So I say that to say, I think people have what the person could offer to the other person. It depends on what they're looking for. Some men don't want no more kids. They already have children. They don't want any more. So if she has kids and she been married once or twice, she have kids. Some people like, man, she's a good woman. What if she's a good woman? She cooks, she cleans, she do all these things for you. And she's just looking for companionship. Sometimes it works out like that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's the majority, and I'm not saying that's what you should go after. But if we're going to be real honest about it, we do see this stuff happening in real life. Thank you, Night Call. I appreciate that. Appreciate the question. JSU Tiger 07, thank you so much for the super chat. How you been? Thank you so much for being here. It says, if you have 80% of what I like, then let's give it a shot. Right. I think that's reasonable. I think that is reasonable, because nobody's going to have 100% of everything that you like. I'm just saying. Like I said, she could be super, super cute and all of that, but be blind. I'm just saying. What do? I mean, have the beauty and the booty, but she blind. What do? And she know how to get around. She a cook and everything, blind, and she's in the house. She ain't going too many places. You ain't got to worry about where she at. What you doing? What you gonna do? Are you gonna accept her or not? What you do in that situation? Captain Caveman says chicken nuggets Alfredo. LOL. I don't eat Alfredo. I don't like it. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Successful Emily says lazy bummy women are not stirring Kool-Aid. They ain't go. Damn, they can't even stir the Kool-Aid. They're only that too lazy to do that? Jesus Lord. You can't even stir the Kool-Aid, child? Oh, that's God. Real lazy, Successful MD. Thank you for the super chat. Lord, have mercy. What's going on, Rolling 8687? What's going on? Baby, a mess. Let's continue.
It wouldn't be, I want him to just buy me this and buy me that. And I want him to put some money aside so we can save it up for our children and our family and our house and our assets and things that's going to make us be in a structured relationship. But no, I just want flowers and dates and bags and shoes. Ain't none of that stuff. No, none of that stuff mean nothing at the end of the day. That's what a lot of these younger modern women believe is a good man. He just spending money on me, taking me here, taking me there. He got status and he got money and he got all this attention, but he don't get no hoes, and he just only gonna be with me. You delusional. You delusional. Let's keep going though.
Your dating life changes significantly. This is the guy that comes in to give you a glimpse of what it's like to be cared for, to be desired, and to feel like you were never asking for too much. Enough to change your perspective on dating, but not enough to be your soulmate. When I experienced my first good guy, I knew that he was definitely better than the guys that I had previously dated, but I also knew that the relationship wasn't going to be sustainable long term because there were certain differences that inevitably sent us our separate ways.
So when she says that, she knew that the relationship wasn't going to happen and operate long term. Off rip, you know that she's not a woman who cares about her longevity. So because if you was a woman and you cared about your longevity and you already peeped that the relationship wasn't going to go nowhere, then you would have just got up out of there. This is a woman who doesn't take dating and relationships seriously, because a woman that takes dating and relationships seriously, she is not about to stay in no situation where she feel like it ain't going to work. So she doesn't take relationships and dating seriously. That's off the rip. Just off rip. That's what you know.
Role of the good guy is to simply teach you two things. Number one, good men do exist. They
notice how she said the role of a good guy. So good men have a role. So he's just a placement.
Right.
And I noticed too, she also said she was speaking about there were subtle differences on why we wouldn't have worked out long term. No, the truth is you weren't attracted to him like you probably was attracted to the status verified dude with 50K on Instagram.
Exactly.
You wasn't attracted to the dude with 700 followers like the way you was attracted to the dude with all the status. That's really the truth. When they say we just had subtle differences that just didn't work out. Right. He happened to be 5'9" instead of 6'4". That's really what he happened to be light skinned instead of dark skinned. He happened to not have the best, all stuff that have nothing to do with like being being a husband or being a father or being somebody for longevity. it's always materialistic stuff.
Older, exactly.
That's almost always what it is. It's never about just our ideologies and the way that we viewed life didn't work out. No, he just wasn't 6'4". He wasn't the football NFL player I was getting cracked from the back from. He wasn't the dude that owned the restaurant that I used to talk to, because he didn't have all the status. These modern women give a F about status, bruh.
Yep.
That's what most of them care about: status. They don't care about nothing else until it's too late. And then deal with all the top dudes in the 1% and then complain about how all men ain't nothing. No, it's the men that you choose, because the good men that came around, you didn't want none of them.
Right.
Even when they try to lay out the game plan for you, you didn't want it. You didn't want to abide by it, because he didn't meet your aesthetics enough.
Right.
Stuff that ain't important. And it's for you men too. This for the men too. Every woman that you come across ain't gonna be a 10, my nigga. Sometimes that 6 gonna be the one that you need to make a wife. She ain't gonna have the biggest ass. She ain't gonna have the biggest titty. She ain't gonna have the prettiest face. Ooh. But if you a real man, you could turn a 6 into a 7 easily.
Oops.
Any man that's watching this, you know what I'm talking about, my nigga. If she is 6, you could turn her ass to a 7, my nigga. If you doing what you need to do, you could easily turn a woman into a 7. You might not be able to go 8, 9, 10, but you could turn a 5 into a 6 into a 7. You don't need that woman that's doing all that extra stuff. Sometimes that little corny girl on the side, that's the one that's your wife, my nigga, because she really the one that's locking in with you. That's the one that's really gonna stay with you no matter what. You feel me? Go ahead, lock in with that 6 or that 7. Now, if you're under a 6, then I don't know what to tell you.
Baby, listen. I agree with what he's saying, because I think he's making sense. I think he's making a lot of sense, and I think this is something that people need to listen to, because you may be able to have your wife or whatever you're looking for and live your life with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Instead of out here complaining, or for the women, you may get a man. This is why I think a lot of these women are just full of shit. Like you don't really know what you want, and you just getting whatever. When you don't know what you want, you get whatever. And then they could be complaining, but you don't know how to go about getting what you really want, because you don't know what you want. The truth of the matter is. Night Call 411, thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Says, another tough question. What's the difference between a relationship, companionship, and partnership in 2026? A relationship, good question. A relationship, I mean, is something that you establish between two people with the hopes of it going wherever you want it to go. You know, like a relationship, in my opinion, would mean, you're looking for something more substantial, right? Are you getting in a relationship? I don't think most people get in a relationship or establish a relationship to just stay there. You either looking for something long term, a committed relationship, or you're looking towards marriage. To me, you start a relationship to build it up to become something more serious. Whether you're a committed relationship and marriage, in my opinion, that's what that's for, to build up on to something more meaningful. Companionship to me is just somebody that you just hanging around with, spending time with, just somebody that you spending time with. Not necessarily you're looking for anything long term, but somebody that you can just share life with. Like y'all agree to that. Hey, we're not looking for nothing more serious. We're just gonna spend time together and hang out with each other and just have fun. That's, to me, I think. When I think of companionship, just having a companion, it doesn't have to mean it's your husband or your wife. It's just somebody that you agree to spend time with and y'all have a good time with. And that's just no expectations, nothing major. You know what I mean? Y'all just hanging with each other, no titles, no nothing, just somebody. That's when I think of a companionship. I think of that, not necessarily a marriage or something more serious. Even though y'all probably be sleeping together, hanging out, doing things together, but y'all don't have no titles, and y'all both could date other people, but y'all are just companions when y'all feel like it. That's how I see that. As far as a partnership, I don't know. I think a partnership when people are looking at two people coming together financially and building something related to your finances, somebody that you can build something with. A lot of women talk about having a partnership. To me, a partnership, it doesn't sound like a marriage or a commitment. It sounds like y'all are joining finances or looking to grow one another, what business, joinings or something like that. When I think of partnership, that's how I think of it. It may mean something different to somebody else, but when somebody say partnership, it sounds like a business deal. It sounds like y'all are trying to build things You know, one is trying to help the other with their business. And I hear a lot of women say that too. They want a man who's going to help them grow and help grow their business and teach them something. When I think of partnership, that's what I think of. You trying to grow with somebody financially, not necessarily a marriage, not necessarily, you know, being together for real, but we can grow financially together. When I hear partnership, that's what I think. A business transaction, not a marriage. To me, I think a relationship is something you get into to establish the ultimate goal of marriage. That's how I see a relationship. Because if I'm in a relationship with you and what are we doing? We're not in a relationship to just stay there. We're in it to grow, to build, to get to a marriage, a commitment, to build a family. So that's how I see relationships. That's, to me, that's what that's for, to establish relationships for marriage and commitment and family. Companionship, your dog could be your companion. You know what I'm saying? So a companion is more like somebody you just hang around with, spending time with. It could be sexual in nature, or it could not be. Somebody you just having fun with or whatever. And then once again, partnership sounds like a business transaction to me. That's how I see it, y'all. But yeah, that's how I see that. Thank you, Night Call 411, once again for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for that. What is it? The Iceman 2006. Thank you for the super chat says people would be better off treating dating like business. Okay. What can I offer and who is my market? Success comes when you can connect supply with demand. So people will be better off treating dating like a business. What can I offer and who is my market? Success comes when you can connect supply with demand. So supply and demand. I mean, I guess I could agree with that in a sense of if you're just looking for something, I don't know, transactional maybe. I mean, if you're just looking for to benefit from somebody, I guess that would work. If you're just looking, hey, I want some money, you want sex. Sound like a transaction. Like, hey, I'll give you what you want. Let's make a deal, weekly. I'll come over and, you know what I'm saying? Give you what you want, but this is what it's going to cost you. And so every month I need about this amount and I can supply you with what you want. I guess if you're looking for something for a long-term transaction and y'all agree upon the price and what you're going to offer, then yeah, I guess that would make sense. But if you're looking for, because to me nowadays, meaningful, solid, real relationships between two people it seems like it's becoming harder and harder to find, real, where it's a real relationship. Like, we together. We go through stuff. We combining our money. Is your money is my money is yours, is ours. Where you got children and you got to really take care of people and you got to do, what I mean? It's a difference between a transaction versus a real solid relation. Like, what I'm saying? Where you trust each other. Yeah, y'all go through bumps in the road. Y'all argue. Y'all make up. You together. Ain't nobody leaving. Like, we here because we really care, genuinely care about each other. And we're not going nowhere until one of us is getting put in that box or whatever. That type of stuff is seems like it's hard to come by nowadays. It's not as prevalent. So, I mean, if you're out here and you just realize it's difficult for you to find somebody, I guess this would be an alternative. Like, look, let's make it a business deal. I can supply and demand what you want. I can give you what you want. You give me what I want. Most women want money. So you give me the money, I give you most men want, if they not in a relationship, what do you want? What do you want? Time? You want sex? What you want? I guess, I guess that would be an alternative. I guess. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's move on. I got another clip that I want to share with y'all, and then we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you guys are still hitting the like button. We got 100 and... Okay, we got the likes up. All right. Yay. We got the likes up. I appreciate it. All right. So let's move on. I want to play another video for y'all. And I want to get y'all thoughts. So make sure you are still chiming in the chat. I definitely want to hear what y'all got to say. Make sure you still supporting via super chat. You guys, that definitely helps the channel to grow. So we got one more that I want to share, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Let's get into it.
Hello? Did you want to be a guest?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. I'm gonna close my. What's your name, baby?
Hi, my name is Ashley.
Ashley. Where you call me from, love?
I'm from Miami, Florida.
Say again.
I'm from Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida. How old are you?
I'm 37.
37. You have any kids?
I do. I have 5 kids.
37. How old are your 5 kids?
So I have a 20-year-old. She's in college. I have a 14, 13, 8, and 6.
2014. Okay, 2014, 13, 8, and 6.
Yes.
All by the same man?
My last 4, I was married, and then the first one I was in high school when I had her, so she has a different dad.
Okay. Why'd you get divorced?
That was like years ago. We were super young. I was like 23 when we got married, so we just grew apart, and yeah.
Was he older?
No, he was my age,
I just grew
like
apart.
a year older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ashley, Miami, Florida, 37. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aquarius.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a registered nurse.
RN.
Oh God, y'all know how they feel about them registered nurses. Oh my God. Ooh, child. I'm not saying that's what she like, but y'all know how y'all feel about the nurses, right? I'll be 36 this month. I don't date 30-somethings no more. Why? Blue X, why? Why you don't 36? Okay, you getting old. I'm not just I'm just playing. 36, you getting old, bruh. Wow. Happy belated birthday. Says, I don't date 30-somethings no more. Why not? What's the age range that you date? Blue X 225. I'm calling you to the forefront. Did it settles? Thank you for the super chat. Says, hey, Miss Dee. I guess you're trying to say love your content. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Captain Caveman says, cooked. Oh my God. Super young for marriage, but not kids. Shaking my head. That's a running theme. I'm just saying, Captain. That's a running theme. They too young. They can't make the marriage work, but they have all them kids. Child. Yeah, because everybody busting it open, raw dogging and screwing. That's the way to go. You don't know, love, be broke as hell. Don't know when you broke and you don't know what to do. Just go have sex. That's what people do. Raw dogging in the corner, honey. That's all you know how to do. That's a natural instinct. Like, we ain't got no money. Let's go screw in the corner, honey. We don't care who we do it with. Let's just get our rocks up. We ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't got shit. So let's just go screw, you know. That's what people do. When it all fails, just go screw. Raw dogging. And then raw dogging. I mean, if you're going to screw, can't you like cover it up so you don't make no babies at least? You know, if you want to be ran through, that's one thing. But don't bring the children in there, you know. Maybe you might have a chance, you know, if you don't bring the kids into that broken situation, you know. But that once again, that's everybody. That's all everybody know. They just like this. LOL. Oh, okay. Okay. Ciao. Baby. Captain Caveman says, RN equals real nasty. Did she leave a number? Oh, Lord. You a hot mess. A hot mess, I see. Jesus, Lord. Take the wheel, Lord. Y'all need Jesus in y'all life now. Jesus, Lord. Help come down and save them, Lord. Give them the wisdom and the strength. They need it bad. Child, Jesus, get Jesus in your life. Get you a mug that said Jesus is real. Just saying. Y'all need Captain Caveman, you need Jesus. Just saying. Child, let's continue.
And all right, let's do it. We got Ashley, Miami, Florida, 37 Aquarius, mom of 5 kids, by 2 men. One was her ex-husband. Is the RN. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
So I'm looking for a good.
Blue X, are you a Gemini? Because my birthday is May 26th. I'm a Gemini, y'all. Do y'all think Geminis are crazy if y'all follow that? I don't know. I don't. People say that. I don't subscribe to that, but that's what people say. But they say Geminis are crazy, y'all. I don't know who they is, but they be saying that. Anyway. Child. Blue X 225 says, I meant next week. Okay, next week? 36 May 22nd, too many baby mamas. Oh my God. See, this is what people be saying. They got too many baby mamas out here. These men don't want that. Lord, have mercy. And then they mad. Why y'all don't want us? Well, why should they? That's crazy though. But happy early birthday to you. My birthday is on the 26th. So you're that Friday and then I'm that Tuesday. Yeah, we getting old. I'm getting old for sure, child. Thank God. Thank you, Blue X225. I appreciate you. Whew, crazy. Yep, so he's a Gemini. Yep. I'm a Gemini. You tell me. Are you a Gemini for real, Captain K, man? I don't know if I believe you. I'm not crazy. I told you I'm a smidget. I take accountability over here. I can't talk about accountability and don't take none. I'm accountable for me and my actions. Yeah, I'm a little smidget. I've been a little crazy since I was a child. So, child, yeah, I will admit, but nothing too bad, Nothing too bad. You know what I'm saying? A little cray cray in there, a little bit, just a little bit. I think we all got a little bit. I think I have the normal amount. Nothing over the top at all. Trust me. Night call 411. Thank you for the super chat once again. Says Pew Research 2023. 53 to 54% of black men don't have children. There we go. Right. 78% of black women are single mothers/mothers. Exactly. It's a problem. That's why I call it the single mother epidemic. It's a problem. They run around with all these kids and then wonder why a man don't want to accept them with all the kids. That's why I said, but this is why I said too, there are more men out here who have more of a moral compass than most women. I'll say that. There's some hoish men out there too, but there are more of the men, and this proves it. 54% of black men don't have any children. That means they have at least if they having sex, they're not bringing kids into the world. And this is where they say these women are screwing the same small percentage of pookies. There's a corner of pookie over here that all of them are running to and giving babies. And then they back on Kendra G saying, well, I want a real good man, a Christian man, a generous man. You didn't care about that then when you was getting raw dogged with Pookie? You didn't care about, none of that then, but now 4 or 5 kids later, oh, I need a good dude, It don't make sense. Thank you, Night Call 411. That's crazy though. This is the men that I be talking to who are single say the same thing. They do say they run into nothing but baby mamas. They can't find any women without any kids. A woman without a children is going to be an anomaly. It's going to be like, wow, a diamond in the rough. Like, damn, you don't have no kids. Oh my God, you ain't been ran through. Baby, you would think a man would jump on that, child, because all these women got kids. Captain, thank you once again for the super chat. Captain Caveman says June 15th, born on Father's Day, came out crying, cray. Oh my God. I think. I don't know, because I don't follow the sign thing, but, the people have said Gemini's a crazy child. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Happy early belated birthday if I don't talk to you by then, which I'm probably sure I will on here, maybe. Right. Let's continue.
God-fearing man, a provider, a protector, one that's
God-fearing,
full of chivalry, knows how to wine and dine, romance, finance.
Romance, finance.
Yeah, he needs to be, I'm not gonna say like fit, but he definitely needs to be healthy. He has to love God. If he has children, I'm definitely okay with children, but I don't want anyone that like disrespects a baby mom. He needs to like make sure he's taking care of his children. Definitely financially stable and clean. Yeah, he doesn't have to have like OCD, but I need somebody that's clean and somebody that's fun and yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about ooh, child. You said a lot. So you said a provider. Do you want to pay all the bills?
So, yes, I'm a helpmate. I'm a Proverbs 31 wife, so I will be a helpmate.
Girl,
So if ever
stop
he
the
falls
cap.
short, then
I
fine.
need to stop the cap. What I need to come on, stop the cap. Stop the cap. I need that sound. I don't know why I don't have it. Stop the damn cap. Proverbs 31. What? How you figure? How you tell yourself that? How you know that? What are you doing that makes you that? What are your qualifications to qualify for that type of woman? What are you doing? Why are you still married then? And just be talking to talk.
But as far as like mortgage and stuff like that, the man has to pay that. And me, I don't mind helping with groceries, with the kids, a little light bill or something. But yeah, that's for the man to do.
Girl, you got 5 kids.
Yeah, and they well taken care of.
But do they live with you?
They do. Well, 50-50. So they with me. And so again, so the first one, she's out in college. So it's basically 4 now with me. And they're like, so it's kind of like back and forth. So yeah.
How many live with you in the house?
So 4 of them live with me, but it's 50-50. So I had a divorce. So
So okay, but either
we
way,
share time.
okay, 4 kids live with you. So this man has to make enough money and have a place big enough for you and your 4 kids, and the expectation is he pays all the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of the bills, but I'm the helpmate. That's why I'm a registered nurse. So I'm not just coming in with nothing. So I can definitely help, but that he knows like he's a provider.
But do you think? Okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Not saying, listen, I'm not God, so I can't say it's not going to happen. But the expectation.
Look at her face. When Kendra starts saying that, you could see something shifted in the eyes. In the eyes is where it's at. Her eyes look like, how dare you ask me that? What you mean? Like, what does my kids have to do with him coming in and providing? Like, what? When you start talking like that, you can see the eyes shift. The changes, they're looking like, thinking like, no, you didn't just say that. What my kids got to do with it, girl? It's like these people be thrown off. Like, for real, the thrown off look happens right in the eyes. Like, oh my God, what? They be wanting to curse Kendra out, but they trying to keep it cool. They really be thinking like, what my kids got to do with it? What you mean? That man would have to take care of all them damn kids. Why would somebody deliberately sign up to go take on more responsibility? Why would you do? I know I wouldn't. Why would I? If I was a man, you think I'm gonna go and be, oh yeah, I like her. How many kids you got? You got any kids? I got 5. 1 in college, 4 in the oh hell to the no. I'm not. You know how expensive that is. These kids, he got to be the provider. So why would you sign up? Especially even if you are a man and you have kids. Even worse, because I just think you got responsibilities for your children, and now you got to take care of somebody with four more kids. Like what? Probably 5 too, because her daughter is in college. But still, when Christmas come, what? He probably still gonna have to get her a gift too, right? Oh my God, that's a lot of money. We have a big family, and it's expensive. Okay, it's expensive. Like, so, what man in his right mind gonna want to come in and take care of all of that? Well, he probably got his own place, got a smaller place. His his finances are manageable. He don't need to worry about all that. Now come into a household with all this, and now his money gonna dwindle. He got to spend all this, like, get a bigger plate. Ain't nobody trying to do that shit. Let's continue.
For this man is he has to provide for 5 people. So he has to make enough money to provide for you, and then 4 other kids that live with you have a home big enough. And let's say he has a child,
Right?
or let's just say he got 1 child, right?
Okay.
So your expectation is make enough money to take care of this whole household, including me and my 4 kids that live with me, yourself, and your child, because you're just to help me.
Okay, so yes or no. My kids, they have their dad, so their dad does financially help, like take care of them. So it's not like, oh, he's coming in and he, has to. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like he's basically making sure that we have a home over our head. I have my own home, like I have different things. So
Wait, okay. So
it just
I'm
can't be
getting
with
confused.
anybody.
You have who are you talking about right now? Your ex-husband or the child's father? The children's
So
father?
Okay, so what I'm basically saying is, right? You're saying that I expect him to take care of 4 kids. What I'm saying is that they have a dad, so they already
Right,
are
but
well
no, but
taken
okay,
care
but
of.
here's the deal. A dad or
But the gag is most men don't. Be honest, y'all. Let me know in the chat. Do y'all think most men want to date women with all these kids and the daddy present? Tell me, because I've heard this before too. Some men be like, "Look, if I do," and I don't know if this real or not. It might sound crazy. This is just what I heard. There are men who say they won't deal. Only way they'll deal with a woman with a kid is if the father is deceased or in jail for life. Is that true? Do y'all agree with that, or yes or no? Is that true? Because I've heard men say that's the only way they will deal with a single mother if the dad is either deceased or in jail for life. Never, no possible getting out if they gonna take on that child because they don't want no interruptions. Is that true? Do y'all think most men feel like that, child? wait. That's what I've heard some men say, that they don't even want to be dealing with that because they know, these kids may look at them and they can't, like, oh, you just my mama, man. You can't tell me nothing. I got a daddy. So there's that. You gotta skate on thin ice around the kids. You can't really, you know what I'm saying? And that's uncomfortable. So I don't know. But y'all, I think these women don't get it. They don't get it. Captain Caveman, thank you once again for the super chat, says he gotta pay the mortgage and she supplied the Alfredo, child. That's crazy. But this is, once again, I think when women create these families or broken homes or whatever you want to call it, walk away from their husbands, they don't think about all of this. They really don't think they think about all of this. They just think, because once again, women have been made to believe that no matter what you do, a man is always going to be around the bend. He's always going to be there to swipe you up, is because you're a woman, you have a vagina, and they want vagina, so they'll just accept anything. That's what they think. Oh, child. Yeah. So they believe that no matter what they do, no matter how they move, that a man just gonna take them, accept them. And then a man who, they require the most from him, the man that they require the most from, they still think he just gonna be okay with their behavior and their choices. Let's continue. And it's clear.
not, if you met this man who you want to be with, y'all live together. I'm talking about the household. So you said that you're a helpmate, a man's supposed to pay the bills. That's why I specifically asked you about the household, because in this house, that if this man comes along, the expectation is he will pay the bills in the household, and you're not just one person. It's like you come with, you really have 5 kids, but one is gone, so he has to pay for 5 people in the household, and that is a fair request potentially if that was the man that created those kids. But the fact that you feel like that's the new man's sole responsibility, I personally think that's a little selfish. Like, you should want to contribute because you're bringing 4 people with you.
So, but that's what I said. I said I am the helpmate, but to say like, okay, mortgage and rent, they will pay that. But as far as like light bill, cable, groceries, stuff
But
like
so
that, that's what.
okay, let's stay there. So he has to pay the mortgage and the rent for you and your 4 kids.
Basically, he's a provider. Yes, yes. But if he needs
Did
help,
your
then
husband
I
do
have
that?
the
Your
money to
husband did all
help.
that, I'm assuming, right?
Yes and no. So that's the thing. We were younger. So now that I have grown and I've elevated and my money and everything else has elevated, that's why I know like
Wait
what
a
I
minute,
want
the
and what I
baby
will not.
You have grown. You elevated to what? What the hell you elevated to? Did you elevate to more delusion? What's this elevated to what? You're still. If you elevated, then you would understand the concept that you bringing 4 people to the table. You should have elevated to realize you gonna pay some damn bills. How about that?
You gonna pay some bills. That's what you should have elevated to. Oh, I gotta pay bills. Yes, because I got 4 kids. I walked away from my marriage. Now I gotta pay up. Elevate to that. That's what you should have elevated. How you gonna elevate and say you elevated and now you want a man to pay all your bills for you and your 4 damn kids?
That ain't no elevation. What the hell? So what is the man doing? What is he going back down? You elevated and he going back down to be with you? So he has to de-elevate. I'm just saying. Because what is he doing? What the hell is he doing if he get with a woman with 4 kids? Is he de-elevating? Because I'm pretty sure he was good without all of that. Girl, I'm just saying. The Iceman 2006 says, another vital question for a man considering this. How many girls live with her? Possible false accusers if they don't like him or need a scapegoat. Oh my God. This is a good, I like this because they don't think about that. Yeah, what man? Yeah, y'all got to be careful out here, men. Because we've seen that happen. And if you want to avoid that kind of stuff, you got to think about that, baby. That's why the men don't want to fool with these women, with these children, especially daughters. Child. Very good point, Iceman. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. That's definitely something that you got to consider out here, dating these women with these children. Baby, child. Yes, Lord. Yep. It's just a lot to consider. So this is why a lot of men are just like, nah, we'll pass. We don't want to elevate. Right. That's crazy though. Captain Caveman says, good esophagus, fruit snacks, Franks and Kool-Aid. Yeah, definitely a keeper. Where do I sign up? You a hot mess. You a mess. You a mess. You don't care about the kids? And why you need fruit snacks? What the hell you need? And you know you ain't eating no goddamn Franks and Kool-Aid. He said, well, how does Franks and Kool-Aid go together? Ugh. And you don't need no damn fruit snacks, and you don't probably eat no Franks and no Kool-Aid or none of it. And so this is good. Okay. Go ahead, hit the Kendra G up, baby. She probably waiting, child. Ain't nobody signed up for that shit. Thank you, Kevin K. Man. I appreciate you. Night Call. Once again, 411 says, thank you for the super chat. It says, traditional standards for a man versus a non-traditional woman. Ideology. DeeDee, what's left that she can offer a man exclusively that she hasn't given to these other men? What, this lady, child, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, there's really nothing. You know what I mean? And this is what they don't understand. This is why when they say, when they ask the question, what you bring to the table, they get lost. Vagina, that's it. She give you some ran through vagina. Vagina that's had all these children by other men, and there's nothing special. There's nothing special anymore. There's nothing special that these women can offer a man of, a traditional man. A traditional man versus modern women is what we have. These women want traditional men who going to take them on. They've been modern their whole lives. They've operated in a way that doesn't say traditional whatsoever, or godly or Christian or nothing. But then they want you to be God-fearing. It's like they want the men to be God-fearing and all the things that they're not. So there ain't nothing they can offer at this point. Y'all done given it all up. You've given it all. There's no virtue. There's no virginity. There's no commitment. There's nothing. There's nothing left. It's like you just there, and they want y'all to be the most pristine men, and they've just done everything that they want to do. Now they want you on the back end to come in and do the most. They want you on the flip side of their horrible choices, but then they want you to have the highest standards for you, which they didn't have those standards for themselves or the men that they gave children to. So nothing at this point, child. Nothing. I call 401. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. Captain Caveman said, I told you I have a garage, 4 kids. I have a garage for the kids and chores. You wrong for that, baby. I forgot you said that, but that's crazy as hell, Captain Caveman. Something ain't right. I told you need Jesus. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate you. That ain't, I'm praying for you. Let's continue.
Wait, the man that birthed the 4 kids didn't even do this? The man that created the children didn't even. I ain't do this in a long time. But here's your man. Here's your man. You mean to tell me the baby daddy didn't even do what you saying this new man got to do?
No, I'm not saying that. He definitely helped and everything like that. I'm not saying that he didn't. But what I'm saying is that as I'm older, I expect more. Do you understand?
No.
I understand what you're saying, but I think it's not about being older. It's about, here's the deal. I hear this a lot. I've been doing this for 5 years, so I know, and I get it, ladies. When you get older, you have a higher expectation because you might be making.
Yeah, but that's a delusional mentality. What you getting older mean? That means, but then the man getting older wouldn't want you. If age is really wisdom, then that means the men that you're looking for wouldn't want you because he's aging. He's got wisdom and he understand this is not a good deal for him. But that, once again, a lot of women don't consider the men at all. You just think that, oh, he's just going to accept you because you got a vagina. That's it. That your vagina is worth silver and gold and frankincense and myrrh and all this other stuff. Like, come on now. Like, come on. Him getting older should mean that he's wiser too. And he expect more too. So if he expect more based on you expecting more, baby, what he is expecting, you don't qualify. Because I'm pretty sure most men are saying, no, we don't want women with kids. We don't want women, with all these children. So you wouldn't qualify. Let's continue.
More money and all that. I get the logic. So let me tell you this. I do get the logic. But now let's just get to the real. The real is, first of all, a mortgage for a place that would have enough space for you. You're 5, right? It's you and 4 other people. So, and I don't know what this man got going on, right? Maybe it's just him. I'm assuming maybe 2. So the expectation is for this man to make enough money to cover the mortgage that can house 6 or 7 people, and you just gonna pay the light bill, and you think that makes sense. I think
No,
that's very
the light
selfish.
bill, the cable, the water, the gas,
Girl,
car
the half of
insurance.
the mortgage, because you coming with 4 kids. You paying for the
No,
mortgage of your 4 kids right now? Okay, how about this? Do you get child support from the
no,
baby daddy?
I do.
So
I do.
will his child support contribute to the mortgage and where the kids are staying?
So I guess let me just say I'm not. Let me see. How do I put this? I've just been blessed to not ever have to pay mortgage, and I think that will forever continue. So the man that I will have to
Okay.
be with has to be at a different level, if that makes sense, because it's not going to be nothing to them, like to say like, oh, paying mortgage. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, so
Okay, but I asked you this question. So maybe, okay.
Girl, but a man who could afford to pay your mortgage with your 4 kids, he don't need to do that. That's the part I don't think they're getting. A man who will be able to afford that is not you. What are you bringing to the table that will make him want to take on you and your 4? What the hell are you doing? Because girl, what you got to be a damn. I don't know what you would have to be for a man of status, a man who has the money to just come in and pay all your bills and want to be. What are you bringing to him that is so magnificent that he's willing to come in and take on you and your 4 kids and pay all your bills? What are you giving to him? Because first off, I'm just saying, we looking at you, and I'm just saying, what else? Because I'm just saying, you would have to be, baby, what you gonna have to be? I'm just saying, I don't think they consider that. It's like y'all just talking. Yes, he would have to make a lot of money to come in and take on 5 other people. But why would he do that? If he can do that, what's the kicker? Like, what does he get? Looking at you, he's not. I mean, that's not gonna reel him in. So what you think you got to be doing in order for a man to want to come in and take on you and take on 5 people when he could go just get a woman who don't have none of that? Y'all don't be thinking though. They don't be thinking. Let's continue.
So maybe I got confused because I asked, who pays your mortgage? Was it your husband, your ex-husband?
So no, I have like a different type of situation to where basically I was left with inheritances, so I'm good.
But that's not somebody paying your mortgage. That means you got an inheritance. So that wasn't like a
Correct.
man paying your mortgage. So let me ask you
Correct. So
this.
if I'm gonna go with somebody, I'm not gonna leave where I'm at in a good situation that where I have things to just go with anybody, and now I'm forcefully out here like gotta pay stuff. So if I'm gonna talk to somebody, they have to be like of a different type of caliber because, you know, to just an average person, this is gonna sound like a problem. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna sound like a problem. But yeah.
Yeah, because you an average person, ma'am. Ain't no man coming in. No man is going to come in and want to pay your bills, all your goddamn. Come on, ma'am. Stop. Captain Caveman, thank you once again for the super chat. Says, see, put them in the garage. Who crazy now, child? I don't know what else to say. Like, you're a hot mess. Thank you for supporting, though. I appreciate you. You don't put them damn kids in no garage. Why you saying that? Oh my God. Thank you. I appreciate you. Charles, once again, this is why I say don't be delusional. Delusional is being delusional is like a drug, honey. Child.
Why I have things to just go with anybody, and now I'm forcefully out here like gotta pay stuff. So if I'm gonna talk to somebody, they have to be like of a different type of caliber, because you know, to just an average person, this is gonna sound like a problem. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna sound like a problem. But yeah.
First of all, here's the deal. You're blessed that you got inheritance, right? And I think that this is probably why when I'm talking to you, it doesn't compute, because you're probably living in a way and you're fortunate. You were given enough money to sustain your life, but most of us in this world, we got to go get it, right? We got to go out there and go work for it and go get it. So it's not like, money just fell down and now we could live that certain way. So, I mean, I think that's why you're not understanding how the ask of a man to just provide for you and your children, when he has to go work so hard to get this money, and you're like, well, that's your job. You should have sealed that deal. Let me tell you something, ladies. I'm not mad at that, but you should seal that deal with the children's father. Make that before you go in the door. Only have the man's baby. If your requirement is, listen, this is what it is. I don't pay no mortgage. I don't pay no rent. Get that deal before you give him a baby. That's the best. That's the best way to get that package. But I do think
No, I
that.
get it.
So okay. So what you're hearing.
I hope she get it. I'm sorry, y'all. Like call 411. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. Says Dee so frustrated / flutter. She can't even finish her sentences. LOL. Says Dee, what advice would you give this woman? Sure, get back with the baby, the ex-husband. If you can. Y'all need to salvage that relationship because y'all have the kids together. She has an older daughter that she had, she said, when she was younger. And then the other kids are by her ex-husband. Get back with your ex-husband. Y'all figure that out. Because that way, that's his kids. He would feel more comfortable in the house with his kids. And she already know him. Y'all figure out, work out y'all differences. That way those kids can have you and the mother and the father in the household. Work out y'all differences. Y'all were young then, y'all older now. So both of y'all should be wiser. She said she's older now, so she expect more. So get with with the husband and y'all the ex-husband, and y'all work things out for your family, because that's your family. That's what I would advise. And if you can't do that, then you need to be more open to working with a man. You should be willing to pay half the bills. You should be working. You should, because you bringing more to you're bringing more responsibility to the table. You're not an asset. You're more of a liability. So you're bringing more to the table as it relates to liabilities. So you should be more accommodating. If when you're looking for a man, you need a man who will be willing to accept you because he likes you and willing to accept you and your kids. You need to grab him, and you need to be willing to pay the majority of the bills, honestly. Because if you want to stay in the household that you're in with your kids where they're comfortable, whatever, he comes in, and if he's okay with that, then yeah, you need to be paying. Y'all need to work together. Y'all need to split stuff. Y'all need to work together. You shouldn't come in expecting way more from that man when he doesn't have all of that baggage. If he doesn't have no kids or none of that, you can't expect that man to come in who has his life together. Even if he is a man who makes really good money, he has a certain way of living. Most of those men ain't gonna want to do that anyway. So if you really got a guy that likes you, girl, you should be open and receptive to doing whatever he wants. I'm just saying. And y'all working together to be honest. Work together. If he's willing to take on you and your kids, work with that man. You shouldn't be entitled and asking him to pay for more. That's all I'm saying. If he's willing to do all of that, work with him. That's what I would tell her. And if you don't want to do that, go back with the ex-husband, because that's his kids. Y'all work it out. That's what I would tell her. Or if you don't want to do none of that, then you're going to be single, because I don't think too many men going to accept that deal. That's what I would tell her, night call. Thank you for the super chat. Let's continue.
You live a certain way that your adherence pays your bills, basically.
Correct, but what I'm trying to say is, right, I hear what you're saying about do everything like ahead of time, but what I'm saying is these decisions that I made, we're talking, I'm a teenager, like 19, 20, 21, like kind of having the kids and getting with somebody. You understand? So that was kind of like in the past.
No,
So
okay, you're
now
not.
I do hear what you're saying, that if I like, it makes sense now that the way the economy and everything is, and me coming in like with kids, that maybe I would need to, like, be a little more open to it, and I would be if I have to. You understand? Because I never had to look at it that way. But if you're, saying it that way, like, okay, I'm coming in with the kids, I didn't look at it that way. I'm looking at it as, okay, they're already well taken care of. So if a man's coming in, it's not like they have to fully say like, oh, I have to take care of her and all her kids, because that's kind of not what it is.
But
But
if they,
I am open.
but hold on. Would you live with this man?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the reason we got here is because I'm under the impression you're looking for a man. You said you want to be a provider. You would live with him, and you said he would pay the mortgage. So I do understand that women at times. Let me tell you why I think about money, because I work. And I think now this could be my masculine trait, because I understand how you have to work to get money. And I think sometimes women who I love, I think I think sometimes it goes over some women's head how men have to go get all this money to say what you're asking for.
Right.
So I understand you were a child, but I'm not really talking about that. The fact of the matter is you have 4 children that would go into this household, and you just feel, yeah, he's supposed to pay the bills because that.
Yeah, 4 children got to eat, right? More people in the household, the more the utility bills go up, the more food you need, the more toiletries you need, the more everything you need. When you have a big family, you constantly need shit. You know what I'm saying, y'all? You always need stuff. So a lot of times, both people got to contribute in some way. Now, listen, I always say, and I told y'all before, look, when me and my husband first got married, we didn't have all the children right away. But I was at the house while he was working. It was much more affordable back then. Thank God the majority of our children are grown now. They're working themselves. But so when you have, a bunch of people in the house, things are going to cost more. So why would you want to put all that on this man, and this is not even his kids? I think, when you have your own kids, you know what you're bringing here, so you know what you got to be responsible for. You don't mind, because that's your kids, and you brought the kids to the world, so you know you got to take care of them. That's your kids, that's your family, that's your household. You don't mind paying for your kids, but somebody else's kids, no, it's a lot. And them children like to eat. Food is expensive. I'm just saying, clothing, everything. You don't even have to be shopping super name brands and expensive. Stuff is still expensive, and you got all these people to feed and clothe. Like, that's gonna add up. And you want them to pay. Like, come on. The Iceman says she also snitched on herself. She divorced the man who married her as a teenage baby mama because they grew apart. She doesn't value marriage. And see, that's how men gonna look at it. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. That's how men are gonna look at it. You don't value marriage. Y'all just get married for the fun of it and then just walk away like it's nothing. So men look at things differently from most women. Don't even care. It's like, oh, well, whatever serves me. If it don't serve me, I'm out, and that's what I'm supposed to do. No, men don't look at it like that. This is why men look at the reasoning behind you walking away from your husband, when we know most women walk away from their husbands. Most women file for divorce because they get tired, they want something better, and they just walk away. You don't care about the family, you don't care about the kids, you don't care about his feelings, you don't care about nobody but yourself. So that's why that weighs heavily on the minds of men, because men value marriage more than women. I believe that. Because women are the ones who always leave. Most men will stay in a marriage that's horrible. Which I'll be like, why? But that's how much a lot of these men honor their vows. They'll stay in the marriage, even if it's horrible, with the hopes of, oh, it's going to get better. Women like, I'm out, peace. I don't give a damn if the kids are destroyed. I don't care if you destroyed. I'm going to leave out, and I'm going to try to take everything I can with me. That's how they think. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. So, yeah, let's continue.
That's what he does. But let's just think about it in the math. Like, 4 people to feed. Well, you said you buy the groceries, but a home big enough for that amount of people, because you get it. If it's just you and one person, I can get a smaller home. I don't need a big car if it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is
Right.
just more when you come with more, right?
Right.
So, and to say that the entitlement that he's just supposed to provide, and I think, ladies, we say it says so much, but let's get into the reality of what is being said. That's a lot of money to ask for a man who did not birth those kids.
I
And
get
that's
it.
and I go back to the mortgage. So I'm just thinking about, how I live, and I'm one person. I had to take care of 6 others. I gotta have a whole new place, and I like to live nice. That's a whole lot of money,
Yeah.
So, but I think it's because you got an inheritance that you never.
But I mean, if she got an inheritance, that should be more the reason to spend it, right? If you got an inheritance, you could pay all your own bills. Why is the expectation out of turn? So if he paying half or he coming in and helping, that's an extra. That's added. Why you got an inheritance and you're good? So what aren't you paying your bills with that? Why you need him to come in and do all of that with you and your kids, and they got a daddy and all of that? That's too much. That's just too much. That's too much. That's too much. I'm just
You
Had to
wasn't
feel
thinking about
that
it in the way I
burden.
was trying. I just want you, and then I'm not trying. And then I know a lot of women are, I really are just like, no, because everyone just like, yeah, I'm a queen, I deserve a king. I get it, ladies, I get it. But let's just talk about the fact of the bills and how much more it costs when you come with humans. Because if it's just you, then that could be fair. Like, some men are like, listen, I know men that are like, I'm gonna pay all the bills because I pay all the bills for myself. So she just gonna move in, and I'm already paying the bills for myself. So to some men, that makes sense. Like, I already paid my bills. But it's just, let's
Right.
say he got a bachelor pad. He can't have a bachelor pad with you and 4 kids. He got to get another
Right.
house. And it gotta be,
Yes.
and another house is gonna cost more space and more money.
I get you.
That's all that I was trying to say. But I do think that I love my ladies. I love my ladies. I love y'all. I swear I do. And I really think the word delusion is right, only because what I've come to terms is some women just don't think about it in that way. Like, it's like you just didn't think about it in that way. It was like it made a lot of sense to you. And then when you said inheritance, that really it helped me more understand you, because you just got the money. You didn't have to work for it.
Well, you could say
Or
that,
did
but
you have
yeah.
to work for it? You told me it was an inheritance.
So inheritance, but for me, I still have to work for my kids, so it's still so it.
But let me ask you this: do you live a certain way because of your inheritance money?
Of course, of course,
Exactly.
of
So
course,
that
of course.
money is allowing you to live a certain way. That income is allowing you to
Hmm.
live a certain way outside of your own income. Because if you didn't have that
Right.
income, you would probably not be
Then
living where you live. And
correct.
what I'm
You're
trying
right.
to say is that income that is allowing you to live the way you live, and it's not your fault. You're blessed. You didn't work for it. So because you didn't work for it, you don't understand the type of work that has to be done for it. I'm not judging
Right.
you for it. I think all Black people should have, life insurance, and we should set each other up. Like, this should happen more in our community. So this is no judgment.
Right.
You're a blessed person that you have an inheritance. So don't lose that. I'm not trying to bash you for that. I'm just saying that's why I understand you don't understand what it means to work for it. Because when you work for something, huh. But I think that was
Yeah.
good. So let's see. Maybe I'll keep it. I'll keep it. We had a good moment. All right, let's keep going. So wait, girl, I can't even find your paper no more, child. Tell me your name again.
My name is Ashley.
her name.
What do I have? Okay, what did I do? I got so hyped. I done changed. Girl, I can't even find your
You
paper
ready
because
to come for me? That's what it is.
what
Coming for
happened?
me. I said you coming for me.
Well, I'm not coming for you. I'm trying to enlighten you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm
I
not trying to come from you. I'm not trying to come. I don't,
Well,
listen, I'm really.
ain't nobody trying to come for you. Just trying to tell you the truth, which y'all don't want to hear the truth. The truth of the matter is most men ain't gonna deal with her. That's just that. I don't know what. Oh, let me see. 'Cause I want to see the Kendra cam. Most people not gonna want to deal with her. They gonna probably want to sleep with her and that's it. Cause I ain't got time. I gotta get out of here. Child, let's see. Cause look like she did the Kendra Cam. Hold on. Let's see.
I'm just this specific and this what he has to have. It's not like that. Like I'm open, but if I have a choice, that's my choice.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Her.
Oh, girl. Hurry up. You ain't got all day.
Wait, can you see like this? Hold on.
Come on now.
Okay. Oh.
I guess
We
she.
see you, girl.
All right.
Okay, or you wanna, when somebody like their body, because they do
They
extra Kendra
On
Cam when
nap
they like their
now.
body.
Them more than taking on.
Well, I mean, I exercise. I do a little 3 miles, but
Go
I'm
ahead,
still
man.
working on my
You
body,
right.
so I don't look
Okay,
like I have.
okay.
You.
Yeah.
I found your original part of your paper, Ashley. Ashley, when was your last
You
relationship?
right.
Um, a real actual relationship was back in 2018, and that's when I
Good.
100% knew when I was gonna have like the divorce that I wouldn't be with my kid's dad anymore. After that, it was like a situationship, but it wasn't like a real relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't really count that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask, when's the last time you was intimate with someone?
About 2 years ago.
Okay, are you waiting for your next relationship or marriage?
I'm waiting for marriage.
Mm.
You're not having sex till you get married?
Correct.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Oh my God.
Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a
Oh
second.
my
Mhm.
Give
God.
me a second. Okay.
Oh my God.
So you have 5 kids.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
So is that what you did when you had your 5 kids? Was that your rule too?
God. Oh
So the thing is, that was not my rule, but I did
oh
over time,
God.
like with the whole divorce and everything, I got a deeper relationship with God.
Oh my
So that helped me to genuinely love myself, know who I am, the whole shebang. And it made me being able to wait, it made me okay. So I know that the person that God had for me, that I'm gonna know that he's the one. So I don't have to sit up here and be laying with a bunch of different men and just knowing that their true intentions really is.
It never fails.
oh my God.
It never fails.
Oh
They
my God.
always bring God into it after the fact. What? It's not like we dealing with virgins who ain't never given their body to anybody, never gave no children. Like, come on, y'all are insane. I think the Binding Crew members of society all read from the same handbook, honey.
Oh my God.
They read from the same handbook. They gotta. It's just it's an echo chamber, child, of delusional hood babble. They all read from the same book. I really want to see that. I want somebody to find me the Bonnie Crew Members of Society handbook. It got to be out here somewhere because this can't be real, child. It can't be real. There's a Bonnie Crew Society members handbook that I need to get my hands on so I can see what they talk. Cause baby, it's got to be. God fearing got to be in there some way, shape, or form. I'm just saying. After everything, God fearing is at the top of the list. It's like you're a virgin all over again after 5 children.
Oh my God.
It's a game they playing, and I need my hands to get my hands on that Binding Crew Members of Society handbook, honey, so I can come on live and we can go through it to see what all they talk about. Cause it's got to be one. Y'all need one seriously, cause they all say the same thing, baby. You can't make it up.
To be with
You
me.
really
So
can't.
So
yeah,
I want to say
and I.
this, and I definitely subscribe to don't be laying up with different men. And if everybody knows, I always say to ladies, don't have sex unless you're in a committed relationship, so you can know, like, seal the deal before you have fun time if you want something serious. So I definitely agree to that. I think so. He has to not have sex till you get married. Make your preference, what you desire, is 100K or more. I think that I'm gonna tell you. First of all, do you want your video on social media or you want it just inside the app?
Mm,
It's your call.
um, I mean, you could put it. You could put
Okay.
it out.
So I mean, they're kind of saying it in the comments too, but I feel like it's just gonna be like, you have 5 kids and now you want to wait until you have sex until you get until you get married. And I promise y'all, I'm not here to tell you not to roll with Jesus and God. That's really not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that's a high probability for a young girl who's a virgin, right? Because she's never had sex and she has no kids. And if she said that, it's almost like a fair statement. They're going to say you have 5 kids and now you want me to wait. Like basically the man got 5 kids from you, didn't have to do anything this new man got to do. And he got to take
Right.
care of the 5 kids. Well, the four of the 5 kids. But
So
that's what
let me say this. Let me say this. I have went on several dates, right? And when I say go on a date, obviously I'm not having sex with these people. Now, I can tell you this, in all honesty, I have met people that wanted to marry me and they did not mind that I had the kids. I just probably wasn't 100% attracted, or I just knew in my heart they're not the ones. I have also met great people that had the money that I desired, right? They did not have that love for God. And I knew I can't be with them like that. And again, I also there was a very most recent encounter that I had. That woman's intuition, I had it. He had the money, he had the looks, he would marry me and everything. And something in me was like something not right with him. And he, of course, like would take me on dates, spend money, whatever. And of course, as time's going by, I'm like, let me chill a little bit on like how much maybe he's spending on me or whatever, because I know soon what may be coming up. But anytime I go around him, like as anyone else, I make sure, of course, I look good, but I'm not revealing myself. I'm not doing anything seductive or anything to make him think that I want to do anything with him. And thank God that this one particular person, I did not do anything with him, because when we met and he's doing everything, oh, I'm this, I'm great, oh, I'm nice, oh, he'll marry me, everything that sounds great. And as time is going by, he really sees that I'm standing on, look, like I'm not going to have sex with him. And he already okayed that from the beginning. Okay, cool. Like I'm looking for marriage, this and that. Lo and behold, as more and more we spend the time and everything like that, and he realized, I guess this one particular night, again, I'm not doing anything to turn him on or anything like that, right? Dressed inappropriate, nothing. He got so upset that night that I did not have sex with him. And he basically let me know, kind of like what you're saying, from A to Z, basically that he didn't want me from the beginning. Now, had I went and slept with this man, um, thinking before, he was telling me, oh, how great this and that, but I did not give him what he wanted, right? And as he was getting tired of that, it showed me the true him.
All right, girl. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm done. I gotta get off here. I can't take no more. I can't take no more. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. That's enough of that, child. Girl, 'cause that's what you're gonna run into, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's what you're gonna run into. That's what the men gonna want to do. It's unfortunate. You put yourself in this position. This is what the men gonna want. They gonna only want to sleep with you, honey. That's it. Them men ain't realistically. Them men not, when you say 5 kids, they done, child. They already thinking, I wonder if I could get a little cooch from her. That's about it. Once you tell them about them children that you got, and you've been 2 different men, these men really probably tuned you out. I'm just saying. She's not. She I mean, she ain't the worst out here, whatever. But unfortunately, I personally think, in my opinion, that's what she's gonna run into. They gonna wanna sleep with her, and that's it. That's all they see the worth in her, the value in her. You may think that your value is going up and you're leveling up, but to a man, that's beneath them. And all they gonna see is, ooh, if I could get a little bit from her before I dip, that's it. They want to get a little dip on their chip. I have y'all said. I don't know if that's the way y'all said. I don't know if that's right. I don't know, y'all. But all I know is they gonna want a raw dog or crack or whatever, however y'all call it. And that's that. She good enough for that. They're not looking at her for wifey material, serious material. And then on top of that, you talking about saving it to marriage. They don't want to marry you. Most men soon as you say you got 5 kids or 1 grown in college, okay, and before in the house, these men tune you out. They like, oh, hell no. That's just it. That's not on their radar. They've been not trying to take on that responsibility. And then when you start telling them you need a provider and God fearing and oh my God and all this, they're really gonna be like, oh Lord. Yeah, they're gonna say, oh, but you know what? I like you. You nice, you cute. Oh yeah, man, we can hang out. Yeah, hang out so they could get some. And you do right, don't give them none because that's all they want. That's all they want, unfortunately. They're not looking for a 5-time baby mom. They're not looking for, they know that that's a big responsibility. And most men don't want to deal with that. Most. If she can, once again, one of those guys she met who was willing to be with her and all that and do all that, maybe you should have tried them. Or the best bet, go try to get your ex-husband back. That would be the best option because that's the kid's father. Maybe y'all could work something out. That's the best bet, in my opinion. That'd be the best bet for you. Because all these other men, they're going to just try to sleep with you. They're not going to, that's a lot of children. And the men see that and they just not going to do it. And he could have a lot of money. He could have a little money. He could have in between. They all still ain't going to want to be with you. That's too much. That's too big of a responsibility. That ain't their kids. Them men ain't trying to do that. Night Call 411 says, Dee save her. I can't save her. Oh my God. Jesus can't save her. She gonna have to save herself. And saving herself would mean, girl, go back to your husband, ex-husband, the children's father. Go back to him. That'd be your best bet. I'm not even joking. I think that would be her best chance. Go back with him. Y'all figure it out. Y'all both are older. Y'all both are wiser. Hopefully they can go back together if he ain't already got him a new wife. Because usually the men go off and marry somebody else and women still be single. That's what I would tell her. Go back. Try to get back with him because most of these men, unfortunately, are going to use you for sex. Thank you, Night Call 411. I appreciate you once again. And that's that because it's too many. Nobody want that responsibility. I wouldn't. I would not. I wouldn't want my sons. And I'm saying I have sons. I have grown sons. My sons are very attractive. They have the qualities that a lot of these women want. They're over 6 feet tall. They're attractive. Handsome boys. I will say so myself. Handsome young men. And my son, one of my sons, my oldest son, has come across a baby mama who was interested in him. And he was like, she cool. This is what he told me. She cool. He met her at his job. But he was like, she got a kid. Oh my God. I'm just saying, I'm not hating. I'm just saying, he was like, she got a kid. And I'm like, oh. And I'm just asking, like, so you not, and I already know the answer, but I'm just like playing, like, so you not in? She was like, no. She got a kid. He like, she got a kid. No, he doesn't have any kids. He's not ready for kids. So why would he go with a woman who has a kid? He even like, she got a kid. I'm not, she gave her, she gave him her phone number. But then, he don't see her that way. Invited him to something one time. He went to it too. So he, they'll hang out with you and talk to you, but he's not interested in her romantically. He's not. He's like, she got a kid. So, yeah, most men are not trying to do that. They don't want that responsibility. They just don't. Okay? So that's just that. Blessings to her, though. Hopefully she can find. I'm always, open to you finding what you want. If you can find somebody who's willing to take that on, kudos to y'all. I'm not condemning the man or the woman. That's your choice. Make your decisions. It's your life. I'm not trying to tell people how to live their lives. I'm just telling you what I think, my little opinion, that's it. Do what you want to do. If it works for you, good for you. Because that's the goal, all right? Finding what you want and what works for you, do your thing. But I'm just saying it's more likely that most men won't take a woman with all those children seriously like that. Because especially if he don't have any kids, and if y'all said more than half of the men out here don't have kids, so they don't want that. And they have a right to choose what they want or what they don't want. That's just that. Captain Caveman said 5 kids is a workforce, teamwork. Make mama dream work. Oh my God, baby, it's a lot. And we have a lot of children, so I get it. And I just, that's why I say go back to the man who helped you make them. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you once again. Yeah. They don't. I mean, come on. They don't. That's a responsibility that most people don't want to take on, especially if they don't have their own kids. You wanna have your own children. You want to raise your own family. You want to see your sons or daughter grow up. You want a family when you're ready for that. A lot of these men who don't have kids may not even be ready for a family. You know, and they want it with a woman that they can start their families with, not somebody already done been down that road and pretty sure she don't want no more kids. And I'm like, come on, at this point, no, they don't know. They don't want it. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all once again for being here. Listen, shout out to everybody in the building, everybody who supports the channel via Super Chat or Cash App. Shout out to everybody who liked the stream, gave a comment, made me laugh. Everybody in the building, everybody who supports the channel, I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all once again for being here. Listen, hit the like button on your way out, you guys. Stay tuned for more. Make sure if you are in the building and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe to the channel, y'all. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I go live, y'all, or post new content, y'all. So, yeah, definitely continue to support the channel if you like the content, y'all. I will be back with a live really soon. So make sure you have those bells clicked to on so you'll be notified when I do. But make sure you are supporting the videos that are posted on the channel. I'm trying to get back because I haven't really been posting a whole lot, y'all. I don't know. I be tired. Your girl be tired. So I kind of been slacking off. But make sure you go and watch the videos that are already posted, y'all, and like them and share them. Leave a comment if you can. That definitely helps the channel to grow. But yeah, stay tuned for more, y'all. Hopefully y'all continue to watch. If you continue to watch, I'll continue to post, y'all. But honestly, if y'all don't watch, then I'm not posting. I'm just saying, because your girl be tired as hell, okay? So if y'all continue to watch, y'all get the views up on the videos, and I'll continue to post for you guys. But I appreciate you nonetheless. Thank y'all so much for your support. Thank y'all so much for being here, rocking with me, y'all. Thank y'all once again. I appreciate y'all. Listen, stay tuned, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your day. I may be back sooner than you think, but we got to see. So just keep that bell turned on so y'all will know. All right. All right. So thank y'all once again. I love y'all. Y'all be safe out here in the streets. Be careful. Watch out for that Chud the Builder guy. Y'all heard about him? Shout out to Chud the Builder. Maybe going to jail for, you know what I'm saying? What he doing? I don't know if y'all been watching that, but it's crazy as hell. He's crazy. Watch out for him. Hopefully he ain't on the streets right now. You know, they got him locked up. Waiting for his charges. I think they're looking today, baby. That's crazy as hell. But that's a whole nother story. But watch out for, Chud the Builder lookalikes. I'm just saying, be safe out here in these streets, and I will see y'all in the next one. Mwah. See y'all later. Bye.
You laugh and my heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah, every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me in a way I never understood. In every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I get you. Yeah, it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know I get. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say, we can carry this together. And just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I get you every day, all the way. I get you get me in your eyes. That's when I'm free. I get you more than anybody ever could. And you get me, in a way I never understood it. Every little smile, every little move you do, baby. I don't need a reason. I just know I get you.